We're back. We are so back. I had to check a couple things, but we're good now. So we're gonna get back into the game. Wolfgang died. Fuck me. God, fucking damn it, dude! Oh my fucking god! What can I fucking investigate here? Wolfgang's body. There's something there. Blood stuff. Taser. Generator. Let's look at the body. Inspect the rest of the scene before I get near his body. Okay. Fucking hell, dude. Fine. I'll look at the taser then. Taser gun. Pretty random thing to be lying around in a crime scene that definitely wasn't in the boardroom prior to the murder either. That mean this taser gun was involved in the murder? Closer inspection, nothing about the gun looked particularly strange. Had it even been used? I'm pretty sure the taser gun dispenses. Nearby were some yellow pieces of plastic on the floor, but they're the same shade of yellow as the taser gun. These had originally been attached to. Can't tell where they fit on the ground? Never mind. The point of making guesses so I could just hit confirm. After all, someone who's pro-wielding guns should know better than anyone else. There was blood speckled across the floor. I didn't notice it at first due to the room restricted lighting. But now after my eyes had time to adjust, it couldn't be more obvious. Looks like it passes into the hallway too. Completely sees during the blackout. Speaking of, little blood discovery announcement. Everyone barged into the boardroom through this door. Yet these blood spots don't look smudged. Guessing they were already dry by the time they got here, which in case, could this be Wolfgang's blood? Knife. Barely get the knife. I wanna. There we go. A knife. There's a knife floating in the water. On the blade, it's surrounded by water. It can make something out. The unmistakable color of blood. There's no doubt about it. This knife must have been used with the murder. But the knife was here. And not actually on the platform. I had no idea. That was everything, right? Or wait, no, there was a cord. Where's the cord now? What the fuck? I investigate and then there's the cord. Oh, because it was on the ground. Oh. There's a cord in the water. Judging by the length, it was an extension cord. But that happened to the other end of it. There's no internal plug, but fried tip leaned in the black substance. The cord had been burnt. I didn't see this cord in the boiler room earlier, so it probably came from someplace else. The storage rooms, maybe? It wasn't always this condition, that's for sure. All the items we provided so far, light bulbs, speakers, the fridge, they worked perfectly well. So what happened to this cord, and why was it even in the water? There was something... No, there's something like behind the taser. Can I move? Can I move? Shrapnel? What the fuck is shrapnel doing here? Chunks of something red were floating in the generator nearby. It almost looked like metal, maybe plastic. Really part of the generator. The colors and material don't look to match though. I think that's everything. Do I have to talk to the people? Do I have to talk to the people? Let's start with Jean. Oi, take a whiff in the air. Ain't there something off about it? All it smells like burnt rubber. Because of the busted generator, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. There was another scent, a real bitter one. Might actually be onto something. It's almost like cereal or rubbing alcohol. Indeed, I'm suspecting a mighty chemical reaction at work. I've had my fair share of travels across the sea. I'm no stranger to foul play. There's no stench worse than one of disastrous combination. Thing is, I have no idea where it's coming from. It smells chemical action. Where else would besides the busted generator? Machine conclusion about the smell is wrong. I want to put it past him. Then let's look at the generator then. Half of the generator has melted away and its silver main was almost completely signed. Yeah, this was definitely the cause of the power outage. Could have melted the wires though. It looked like a bomb had gone off in there. That's what I think about it. During the game tournament. There had been a loud boom right before the blackout happened, similar to a firework going off or someone firing a gun. Did I overhear the sound of the generator being destroyed? Nothing else near the dining hall could have made that noise, I don't think. It's suspicious as hell. There's no way the two events are connected. So we're purely off my memory of the boom. To be absolutely sure, I need to know what exactly the blackout occurred. Was there any way for me to find out? Can I look at the body? Oh my god.
Hello?
Noni, you're still here? Is there a problem with that? Why does she need to frame everything I say in the worst light? Preparing to hold one-on-one session with Ulysses. I was consulting him about something important before we were interrupted by the announcement. Is that what you were doing before the blackout?
Huh?
Repeat that?
It's simple.
The blackout. You were still with Ulysses when it happened.
Come on.
You're not speaking any sense. There was no power outage. She can't be serious. A blackout affected the entire building.
Anyways.
Unless... Let me rephrase. Where were you when the murder happened?
Sheesh.
Where were you? At Cassidy's game tournament in the dining
Oh,
hall.
really?
Really? Not what I expected.
Let me see.
Ulysses and I spent this morning by the large tree. We stayed there, and including the time of Wolfgang's murder. Sounds like she had an alibi then. The location she mentioned, I assume this entire building complex is connected by the generator. But it made more sense for the tree. Hence, why it didn't lose power? What about the courtyard though? Is anyone at the time of the blackout?
Terrible.
The generator over there is partially submerged in the water. I think we'd be wise to stay out of this platform. Is he worried about the water being electrified? Even I managed to stay in it way back when. I don't see why that would be any different. Then again, the generator was damaged last time.
Damn.
Yeah, since Wolfgang's nearly in the water, we should avoid touching him.
No,
You don't know for sure if the water's unsafe.
listen to me.
Before you start making conclusions, you should experiment first. Saying that, Eva walked over the pile of boxes and pulled out a light bulb. Oh, I see what you're doing. Threw a light bulb in the water.
Look,
See, it's not lighting up. Which means the water is safe.
Well,
I see. Then I suppose it's safe to inspect Wolfgang. Are you going to? I think I'll observe from afar instead. Can I inspect his body now? Fuck, I gotta talk to Eva and then I have to inspect the body. Fucking hell, dude. Aren't you gonna investigate Wolfgang?
Yeah.
Me? Who else? Back when we mistook the dummy for a body, I poked at it pretty nonchalantly.
hang on.
That's different. I never thought it was real. I see. We were finally advancing into the event. Her cool composure had but all vanished. Typical. I guess she can only keep up and act for so long. Now we can invest the body. What else is there to investigate? What else is there to investigate? We investigated the shrapnel. We investigated everything. Oh, I accidentally left. The shrapnel. The taser. The knife. Winona. And everything else was investigated. I don't know why. Nothing. Nothing. Alright, let's investigate the body. Did I talk to you? I did. What about you, Ulysses, over here?
Hi. The struggle.
Feel highly before we investigate. I think before we can. So I moved here to investigate. I didn't want to hear Wolfgang's body. Ah. What is it? The floor in front of the door. Yes,
Seriously.
this is just a small piece of scrap metal.
Do you think?
Even so, it's still part of the crime scene. It necessitates documentation.
That's not important.
Seriously, something so small means nothing. It could have come from the generator or pieces above us. Ingrid could have been carrying for all we know. Ah. God, there's so much. That's a truth bullet? I mean. Just yesterday, Wolfgang was talking to us, eating breakfast with us. Now he's dead. He had resolved to commit such a needlessly brutal murder. Go so far to mangle his body. Couldn't unpack it. I didn't know how to. This wasn't just some dummy I had to investigate. This was a real person. It's so far from my expertise, I let alone uncomfort his own. Do you want to inspect him? Holy crap, she really did scare me like that. Yeah, I do want to inspect him. Just the idea of getting close to him. I'll investigate with you. Be easier for both of us that way.
Right.
Wolfgang lay completely still, his face frozen. His once bright eyes shrouded in darkness, and his mouth open as if he'd been killed mid-scream. His expression said it all. Wolfgang did everything in his power to make us outcast, and make the worst of us. At times, I hated him for it. This brought a relief to either of us. Wolfgang, what happened in the final moments left him so terrified. The realization he was about to die. Mulling over the waste of his focus. What can I investigate on you? Okay, Wolfgang's face, Wolfgang's body, Wolfgang's blazer, Wolfgang's hand. His hand. The rest is just Wolfgang. Okay. His neck, his massive bruise. That looks like a really bad injury. Almost his entire neck is discolored. Alright, how did he get this on the back of his neck? Nothing around us seems to have left it. This might sound morbid, but what if the sign of his body is decomposing? Can a body really decompose this fast? It could or could not. Probably depends on the environment. Isn't the temperature? Correct. Cool places are genuinely better for preserving things at warm, humid areas in the boiler room. Kind of like dairy products. That's a good comparison. At a tone-deaf one, but sure. Wolfgang didn't have the bruises yesterday, at the very least. So if he did, this would have been super noticeable. Yeah, true. He had the mark in his neck, but not directly overlapping it. A red dot. Is that a beauty mark? It doesn't look like it. The skin around the dot seems to be inflamed. It reminds me of a popped pimple. The sort of wound you could easily inflict on yourself. Then you don't think it's related to the murder? Why not be, but judging by the lack of scabbing, this was inflicted pretty recently, so we may just need to keep it in mind. Chances we end up here between only the opening of the fence. One spot where we can kneel over like this. Is it possible he'd been trying to climb onto the platform before he died? Strange. Why didn't he use the stairs, though? And even the stranger that he was in the water. Wolfgang's suit has completely crumbled and far cry from his once clean appearance. The water has seeped into the pants, completely ruining the fabric. Eh? Came close and spotted a folded piece of paper sticking from his pocket. Though it was soaked, it was completely... Don't want to touch him, but... I thumbed in as I snatched the paper out of his pocket, trying to take care not to brush my hand against his body. Gingerly folded open the paper where some water spots could fall apart immediately. Found a message written inside. It's some ugly handwriting. Do you recognize it? A lot of the text is unreadable, however, whoever wrote this is a low quality pen. Though, at the bottom of the page, fragments of the message are still visible. Secret, 8:50 a.m. boiler room, close the door. Does it read like a command? Seems like somebody wanted to arrange a private meeting with him here. Could someone be the culprit?
Not sure.
15 p.m. is a long time before the time of the death, though. Maybe there was a struggle, or maybe Wolfgang arrived late.
There must be something.
Either way, this message is definitely a valuable clue. It's our only insight into Wolfgang's movements before his death. Well, not only do I want to know where everyone else was at the time, I woke up at 8:30 a.m. this morning, so I was asleep when this meeting was scheduled to happen. It was 35 minutes before the tournament. Cassidy, Jet, Mark, and I would have probably been in the dining hall.
Right.
Right, setting up equipment.
That's...
As for the other students, directly asking them where they were at 8:15 a.m. might be risky, because they would wonder where they got from. Exactly, and I prefer to keep this note between the two of us. As for now...
Anyways.
What do you think it means? I'm not sure it could be referring to anything. Anything, huh? You know what it means?
I know.
I have an idea. The author of the letter might have been talking about Wolfgang's blackmail. Huh? They claim to have it. They could have baited him here without much issue. Bro, Wolfgang asked us to meet with the person who chose the blackmail we had. A derelict boiler room is a pretty ominous place to meet someone, though. It had been Wolfgang's first time here, assuming he didn't have to explore the floor beforehand.
What could it be?
Either he didn't see the super obvious danger in the meeting here alone, or he did realize and just didn't care. Right, does that change anything about what I said? Well, duh. Wolfgang knew the warning signs. His reasons for coming might not be with the integrity. More to with desperation. Desperation. To know the details of his blackmail.
I see.
It would stand to reason. Doubt he could envision something like this happening. He's never really on his guard during this killing game, except around you and me, I guess. See, this is what happens when you start blaming just two people, then other people take advantage of you, Wolfgang. Come on. But yeah, I'm trying to look at his hand though. The way Wolfgang was slumped over on the, it's almost like he'd fallen on top of it. See if his palms are scratching. I'm going to take a closer look. Huh? Trickling down under the cuff and won't get onto the rest of his hand. Strange injury that looked a lot like a tree sapling. Was this a burn mark? I linked into Wolfgang's other hand and saw the same thing. Kinda looks like lightning or electricity.
The hell?
But look at this. Let me see. Yeah, burn marks. It's really horrible. Like gross little veins. What inflicted them? There's a taser a little ways away from here, where they were standing, but I couldn't find anything to indicate it's been fired. So the only thing I can think of is the generator. Why the generator? I think it's clearly been destroyed by something. Maybe Wolfgang got caught in that something and now he's dead. Not sure.
Look at this.
It's the room in the water is conductive.
Thinking.
I thought Wolfgang had seen these burns outside the boiler room. There's just nothing there could leave those markings. It's the actual place he got burned. So we'll have to try and find it ourselves.
Hello.
Hey, Damon. Since we've inspected the ballroom, you should find students who left and ask them for their testimonies. It's because we said earlier that Vincent left no whereabouts at the blessed place to search for clues. I noticed it. The doorknob. Something about it. Like different. Hey, Eva. The doorknob. I think it's been flipped. flipped. Are you sure? Take a look for yourself. The first time we woke up here, I'm pretty sure the lock was on the inside, not the outside.
Is that really true?
How would somebody be able to flip the doorknob, though?
That's...
By unscrewing it, probably. Okay. Why didn't you say something earlier? What do you mean it's the first time I noticed it?
Is that really true?
Really? You didn't notice it back when you entered the boiler room with Kai? No, not even then. Might have been because of darkness or my nerves. But back then, I was paying attention to the small details like the doorknob. All I wanted to do was enter the boiler room. Now that makes me sound stupid.
Listen to me.
It's okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't have noticed the door. You could technically lock the. Fuck. You could technically lock the. Meaning that. Oh, it's actually not allowed to lock someone in the boiler room. All you have to do is lure them in and then close the door behind them.
Moving on.
Come on, we need to collect people's testimonies before investigation ends. Right, let's go. Wolfgang! I'm gonna miss you, Wolfgang. Fucking 2 years for the next fucking chapter, apparently. Fucking hell, dude. Why couldn't they just release the whole game as one... all the chapters? No, they wanted every single... Before we go upstairs, it's probably worth checking the storage closets first. Why? Found something in the boiler room that might be related to them. Judging by the length, it's like an extension cord. No internal plug, it's just a fried tip lined with black substance. Added potential end be severed off and the cord blunt after. I can see the cord in the boiler room earlier, so like if something like that, why the surgery?
However.
But first, I want to talk to Cassidy. You want to talk to her?
Well.
I'm not even gonna read this. I'm at all. If I need to read it, I'll read it a little bit.
Yo!
Oh, hey guys. Sorry for not seeing somebody down there.
Listen to me.
Can you put your sweep down and hold a really important question? Let's hear it. No, just don't drag on too long, okay? I gotta finish my sweep down 4 times up. Do you remember who attended the tournament? The game tournament, huh? Everyone who decided to join kept their word, so we have a full house. There are 8 people in total. Jet, Mark, Grace, Jean, Kai, and the 3 of us.
Huh?
Something on your mind? Since the murder happened in the boiler room, wouldn't that mean everyone in the dining hall has an alibi? Good point. Didn't even think that. She's totally right. Ever since we split into pairs while investigating those rooms down the hall, every parent could vouch for each other. Well, we'll split up in the groups again.
Yep.
Jen and I explored the storage closet B. Storage closet B? That's what it's called for the map.
I see.
Case kind of must have explored storage closet C. Remember you clearly the 2 of us checked the closet above and opposite from the Cassidy search. This map, the only closet that fit these perimeters is storage closet C.
Yeah.
Please mark it, storage closet D. That makes sense. Oh, Damo, since you're here, what's the deal with you in the boiler room? Huh? Kai told us party peeps about Wolfie. You said you went inside the boiler room. How the heck did you do that for? You were supposed to check out the storage closet. Not casting suspicion on me, are you? No way, as far as casting is concerned, everybody is innocent until proven otherwise. We didn't find anything inside, although we did hear someone run down the hallway. For real? Shut the door.
Doubt it.
I'm remembering
It's
footsteps.
the truth.
I do. Eh? You did hear? Did you really? Okay, so now we're investigating storms for
However-
years. Just brushed it off as my imagination, though. Taking over then. Those were footsteps the reason you entered the boiler room, Damo? It's Damien, then yeah. The direction of that room, I wanted to see the person who was running from.
Real?
Phooey, really? I wanted to chase after those footsteps. I mean, entering the boiler room after something like that, you weren't scared of a murderer was hiding inside? When actually discovered one was much better. True, those footsteps could have been... No, anyone could be running around the spooky hallways, let alone in the dark. Maybe they were also looking for a backup generator. I doubt it was that innocent. Considering the place the person ran away from the crime scene, those footsteps are probably the killers. You mean they're fresh after committing the murder? Fresh out the murder a bit after, depends on what time they went downstairs. Bit by bit, the mystery slowly unravels. No need to thank me till the day's work didn't do anything. Alright.
Interesting.
Right.
Look.
Eh? Yeah.
Correct.
This one's here before I knew everyone. Backup generator.
Thinking.
Well, if Cassidy and Jen were the only people who entered this room, then they were the people who got the power back. Oh, is this the one I just walked into? Oh my god, I feel so stupid. Oh my gosh. I feel like an idiot. Source class A. Let's take a look around. Eva, look! There's this rolling pin here, handprints on it.
Strange.
What are you implying? That somebody used this recently for intended prison. The handprints are in the base of the pin? Only much dough if you're wielding the thing like the tennis racket. But it's also really dusty. If it came from the kitchen, it would be clean and the other utensils there. Yeah, agreed.
Jeez.
At the end opposite handprints, can you see it?
Weird.
Okay, then yeah, I can see that.
Focus.
Mark is knocked now. Can only explain the dent on the pin.
Huh?
That's why the closet at the Achilles did. I mean, with the footsteps kind I heard.
Absolutely not.
That's not what happened, huh? I went into this closet and hid the rolling
Listen to
pin.
me.
Grace and I would have seen them. Of course, she and Grace were investigating the closet at the time.
Save it. Moving on.
Oh my god, my fucking headset's dying already. Fuck. Hold on, gotta get up. Shit. Gotta get my headphone charger. Gotta turn on my lights. God, fucking Wolfgang died. Interesting character number 1 died. Killed Wolfgang. Now we're here without a lawyer, you know. Pretty useful in trials, I feel like. But no.
Look.
Storage closet D,
That's...
I think there's some behind the pockets.
Jeez.
Well,
Seemed to hold a whole bunch of them.
range.
Okay.
Difference is they still have the other half intact.
So,
Yeah.
Let's solve this murder. Let's solve this murder. It's a good look at the kind of scene now. Doesn't seem like anything important here. We can move on. Okay. Look through all the closets now. Did you find anything you needed? Yeah, I did. Second, at least based on the other.
Anyway.
Ew, let's go upstairs and collect more.
where?
Finally. I can't believe someone would kill Wolfgang. Can't believe it. Something in the hallway you need to investigate? Fucking what? We literally went through everything, buddy. Ooh, I didn't see this. For some reason, it seemed like pull around the particular spot.
Eh?
Correct.
Notice you noticing? I see. Left the blood behind. Could be Wolfgang, can it? Consider this way.
What could it be?
Blood belonging to someone else. Exactly.
Eh? Right.
Thanks.
Now we can go upstairs. Someone killed Wolfgang, and now he's dead.
Eh?
Eh? Standing next to her. What's up, guys? Wanna lower your voice around here? Some stuff happened.
What could it be?
Was something wrong? Sorry, I always had a bit of a friendly experience recently. Think we all have it? Well, yeah, say no seriously about it. Talking about something else. Because the left we tried going up, we'll give her the blues, but the moment we stepped in, she suddenly pounced on me. She dragged me out, Desmond ran after us. I haven't been able to get my heart to stop beating ever since. Dude, yeah, but it's Grace. She's been guarding Wolfgang's door ever since she kicked us out. Grace looks like accidentally. What the hell? We can't let her bars from entering his room. The glass shot could start anyone. I tried telling everyone, but pretty much gave up. Jen Mark went to the dining hall, Diana went to the laundry room, and Toshiko and Ingrid went to the courtyard. And I thought we're not gonna let this slide. We gotta get inside the dorm room so we can brainstorm a way to approach Grace. Landing on something, performing a brief inquisition. If she doesn't want to cooperate, we'll start badgering her with questions, poke her ego until she eventually retreats. If you want to, you can join us. Random unless we get a dishing verbal beatdowns, yeah? Did come here and inspect Wolfgang Storm, so I might as well. If that's the case, I'll go to the dining hall. That's Jet and Mark for their testimonies. Not coming along. Grace isn't someone I like to be around right now. You three can handle her.
Right.
Goodbye.
Totally.
Okay.
I told you Grace would be pissed about this, bro. Like, I literally said this. I literally said that Grace would be, like, fucking livid, and I was right. She's livid. Hey, Grace, move. You're not coming in.
Back off.
He isn't coming in either.
Please.
Soybean.
His room's none of your business. Except it is. I have to search the last known whereabouts, which includes his dorm, but
See
ready
that?
to bulk. Wolf, I said he's done the job for you.
Come again?
Then you search the room. High and low. Wanna know what I found? Nothing. Just believe that we need to see it ourselves. You think I'm lying?
Just saying.
There's a chance you could be, unfortunately. Think about it, you haven't given us some reason to believe you. Someone who's got nothing to hide could be acting protective right now, you know? Gives the impression of something you don't want us to see.
Anyway.
So, could you send a break the rules? Because he wants the game to be fair, but being prevented from searching a room doesn't mean being fair. Even if there's all, what are you gonna do? I'll report you to Tozu.
You.
Makes sense.
Nice idea. What do you say we go look for him now? He might call for Amara. Want anything from the murder but naturally involved. There's no rook against murderer.
Anyway.
Just let us in the room. If you're not telling the truth, we'll drop other
Gotta
suspicions.
stay one step ahead.
I think Grace did it. Oh shit, murderer there. Murderer here, murderer there, murderer everywhere. Fucking God, dude. Wolfgang died, dude. Oh my god. Why is there clothes on the floor, dude? I thought he was like well kept.
Oi, you.
Don't move things around, he expected them. Keep this room as is. What's this? Why is this like so out of place? Oh, this is the fucking, oh yeah. Oh, why do I have to inspect the sofa? What the fuck? 3 pills arranged in a way. Great investigating, guys. Really felt investigated. It's a little teddy bear. Little teddy bear. Somebody tells me it didn't belong in this room originally. Mini fries, mini shake, mini burger. I was just wondering, including a familiar looking. Were they fucking? Were they fucking in this room and she just didn't want them to know? Are you two fucking in the room? We're not here for that, my ass. Eh.
Quit it.
I know you suspected me, I could tell by the look in your face. I told you I don't know anything about his death. You dark like everyone else about the person I was close to. Damn it, get a grip on yourself, Damon.
Anyway.
I see this morning, grumpy, happy,
Eh?
sick. Keep going to the game tournament, but he woke up with an ache in his stomach. I'm sick. If you're telling me the truth, and Wolfgang planned to attend the
That's
tournament,
not it.
why did he say the opposite yesterday? I remember saying he was too busy to attend the tournament. Like he wanted another round at Panko Machine. I wouldn't know, I interrogated him after breakfast. Seriously?
Yeah,
That's what he meant?
okay.
That's why I told him, hey, no, let's do the tournament. It's a bit flinky at first, typical for soybean, but he eventually came. Wolfgang was a Plinko player? I'm sure you can believe that. Then again, some paraphernalia in this room was neither golf nor law related.
Okay.
Alright, so based on what you're saying, Wolfgang agreed to attend the tournament yesterday. However, come this morning, Wolfgang remembered the pilot was attending, so he suggested I track down the guy in the pilot with him instead. I walked out the door anyways.
Dumbass.
Wolfgang said he was sick to get out of bed, so I walked away. Until Chris realized the same. I don't think Grace would need a letter to tell him that he needed to show up. This thing. What else can I investigate? The calendar. Why the calendar? What the fuck with the calendar? Golly! God damn! He's hitting it like crazy. Shaking it like jelly. I feel like they were fucking. I feel like they were fucking in this room, bro. Hate me all you want, that's what was going on.
Hi.
Give me a moment.
Eh?
Uh,
It's simple.
that's not.
I see.
blackout was only where we were. What's up, Damon? Hey, can you check something for me? Your
That's not it.
boiler room. I found a taser gun in there.
For real.
Can't tell if it's been fired or not. I don't think it has, but I should know because I am wrong. The taser gun was used. It might lead us to the nature of Wolfgang's
No
death.
kidding.
What are you talking about? Is that a big deal, huh? Yeah, since you're skilled at guns, I
All
figured.
good.
No sweat. I'll see you once I'm done here. I was Grace so antsy about people entering. There was seemed to be. Yeah, no, they were fucking. She just didn't want to know that they were fucking. Hey guys, here we were at the beginning of like the blackout when the guy was murdered.
Hello. Rage.
Nothing important. I don't think Jeff would have taken this seriously. Might not look like a mock trial where only a couple people know what they're doing.
Focus.
Thanks.
Yo, Mark, what were you doing, bro?
Hi.
Dude, tell me I'm planning to investigate Wolfgang's War Graces and. Let me guess, you don't want to investigate?
Nothing.
Just came here to make sure my interference was damaged. Couldn't spell it different.
What?
People are already giving Grace the side eye for being uncooperative. Might say if they find out you ditched the investigation.
Slow down.
Whoa, hold on.
Um,
Can't you see Broski isn't feeling well? Give the guy some space. I don't care, I'm working on time limit. Who are you to talk anyways? You know I look on Broski's face whenever you guys are together.
It's simple.
I think you know the least of personal space. What? No way! Sure, Mark and I might talk, but he wasn't. But if he wasn't having fun, do you really think he... Fuck! Oh, fuck! I just hit my PS5. Ow! Fuck! Oh! God damn it! Fuck, that hurt.
Broskies always stick together.
Come back me up here. Time. Huh? What time did the murder happen? 9:35 a.m. Check this. Point is much.
That's.
Huh? It's the time of the murder. It's like when I came back here. I think the clock got screwed over by the blackout. So now it's frozen on whatever it displayed before it lost power. That confirms my suspicions. The blackout and by association the destruction of the generator occurred at the time of Wolfgang's murder.
My man.
Why did Tozy fix a blackout himself? As a maintenance, this place should seriously be responsible. The fridge and the pantry are restocked every day though, so you can't just be consistent. Whining aside, he made a good point. Why didn't Tozu fix the blackout? Think back on a spiel from Did Tozu abstain from fixing the blackout because it was important to the killer? They could easily make their escape if no one could see anything.
Wait.
Yeah, Damon, since you're here, think really hard about those footsteps we heard.
Again.
When were you in the storage closet?
No, seriously.
Yeah, they were soft like the person was wearing socks. It just sound like socks on the floor. Don't things had to be right about it. All this, what do you mean?
Man.
Why didn't the killer just wear shoes? Think about it, the sound of something like heels would be pretty distinct, right? Or what about sneakers? They get really squeaky on smooth floor. And
Don't say that.
what I'm saying is you could totally figure out the shoe from what sound it makes. You know what shoe the killer had on, you can just look at the person with the matching pair. If they're wearing socks, the person probably removed the shoes for that reason. It's just our luck.
Come again.
Can't play swine though, it's bugging me the crap out of me. I talked to fucking everyone. What do you want me to do now? I literally talked to everyone. Okay, I can investigate the strange paintings. I'll investigate the whiteboard. Thank you. What else do you want me to look at? Fuck? This knife block. Oh yeah, the knife in the... Oh, murder trial time. Oh. Only got 20 minutes.
Hang on.
We need to find the other
As I
three.
was saying,
Toshiko, Ingrid, and Diana. So they're in the
I'm
quarry, right?
talking.
And Diana's in the laundry room. Start to Diana first, since she's in the laundry room in the same building. Don't
Can't you
panic,
see?
okay? Not panicking. Yes, I do want to leave. Who murdered Wolfgang? Fuck if I remember where the laundry room is. Who killed Wolfgang? 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 Who killed Wolfgang?
No.
Can't wait. I'm sorry. What are you doing in the blackout? Oh, look out right before the body was discovered. I was just in my room alone doing my makeup. Don't have any makeup on though. I was experimenting with new combinations, so I wiped it all off already. So you were alone in your room the entire morning? I just wasn't feeling up to it.
Sorry.
So I was feeling a little sick all of a sudden. Do you mind if I go back to my dorm? All the same questions I wanted to. Thanks.
So,
Do you think she was acting weird at all? No weirder than the others.
where?
If Ingrid and Toshiko are still in the courtyard, we won't know until we see for ourselves. People thought that Jet was gonna die. They like saw the trailer, they're like, oh my god, Jet, he's gonna die. Jet looks pretty alive to me, pal. They're like, Toshiko's also gonna die. Toshiko looks pretty alive to me. Didn't we see Wolfgang in the trailer? Don't trust trailers, guys. They are not true. Well, I mean, obviously they wouldn't show like the fucking killer and the murder in the fucking trailer. Why would they do that? Stupid. Get it through your thick skull.
Unacceptable!
Seriously.
Impossible!
It's okay, Ingrid. I don't blame you.
This through.
Huh?
Did you see him? The dorm hallway on the way back to the pharmacy. The dorm hallway. Just as I was about to enter my room, I saw Wolfgang leave his. Oh, Wolfgang. What a coincidence running to each other like this. Are you already on your way to the tournament, Miss Cara? It's rather early. Of course not. A professional like myself doesn't rather silly party. Right, my apologies. Oh, Wolfgang! When he was alive! That's correct, I'm going to the tournament. I was just in the laundry room right now. There's a batch of clothes I accidentally left behind in there.
That's...
Wolfgang said he was going to attend the tournament. Yesterday he told everyone he was busy to, but as soon as he changed his mind, I had no other reason to question him. I heard bits and pieces of their conversation from inside my dorm. The whole thing couldn't have lasted longer than a minute. Toshiko and I are bunk buddies, by the way. I thought I'd mention that in case Damon didn't know. Thanks. Anyways, I heard what Wolfie said. My first thought was leftover clothes. I don't remember any leftover clothes, but I figured it must have misremembering because of my aching head and all. Aching head? I was suffering a terrible headache this morning. Couldn't even see 2 steps in front of me, let alone get up from my bed. That's why I'd gone to the pharmacy. I was hoping to procure some medicine for Ingrid. Not my proudest moment, I admit, but I knew I could trust Toshiko with the job. Do you know what time the interaction with Wolfgang happened? 8:10, I think.
How should I put it?
A little after the sworn announcement. Now I can tell you with confidence. It's past 10 would make sense. The announcement initially played, it was about to leave the pharmacy. It was already inside the pharmacy by 8 a.m. So he looked totally fine when you saw him.
Sure.
Yeah, nothing seemed wary. He didn't call into question the Grace told me earlier. Lied to me and Wolfgang, or she was telling the truth, and Wolfgang just got outed as a liar. Can't probably just secure an answer. I don't know what I'm talking about. Which were 8, 10, 8. Oh my fucking god. Yeah.
Hmm.
Eh?
You saw
How
that?
should I put it?
Heard it, then took a peek. But said something was still feeling as my usual self, so I watched you up until you went down the stairs. That must have been how you found the certain crime scenes, right? That's right.
Too much for me.
Such a terrible sight. Can't believe someone here would actually be behind it. Just hope you can solve it. Okay, now it's time. Finally!
Fingers crossed. Listen to me.
Let's just go, man. I don't know where you're fucking in my face. Buckle in my face, bruh. Buckle on my face, bruh. To arrive. Let's get the elevator shot going.
Beats me.
Yeah, man, wish Wolfgang was here. Yeah, wish Wolfgang was here. Yeah, really wish Wolfgang was here. Yeah, really wish
Hi. Right.
Right, I did. Any findings? Just once. The gun's blast doors were missing.
Huh?
Blast what?
Eh?
Ooh, 3D animation. Ugh. I think I just creamed in my pants. Yep.
Shit.
Holy!
It is how.
Game over, man!
Hold your horses. Are we ready?
Do you think?
It'll be.
No, it's.
This pink hair girl has been talking way too much in this chapter. And people online were like, oh, the pink hair girl could have killed because like the chameleon and the title it matched up.
What did you say?
You killed Wolfgang, whoever you are. Can you please step forward?
I want to help.
So she definitely did kill. We can knock on wood for that one.
Come on.
No, she totally killed.
Can I go now?
Can I go now? Yeah, but Wolfgang isn't here. Where was Wolfgang? He was like right next to Ulysses, like right behind Ulysses in front of Jed. I think that's where he was. But now he's gone. He's not there. And he's dead. Do they have executions in this game? Oh my gosh, if they have executions in this game, that'd be so fucking fire. Why did it take so long? Why was that long ass pause, bro? Bro, just get to the fucking trial room.
Rise and shine.
Somebody call an ambulance. I think I caught a case of deja vu.
It's lovely.
It feels like only yesterday you were playing detective with the corpse of a crime scene. My, how insolent the chip of so many of you used to be.
Interesting.
After all that back and forth over simple whodunit mystery, I'm truly curious what today's trial will yield. Just to remind myself, our names are on the podium, right? Eager to start, are we? Yes, to find your podium, look for wherever your name is written.
Show must go on.
Come on now, hop to it. I'm excited, I can barely wait a second. I really don't want to do this.
Oh, crud.
We gotta do as he says though, otherwise that unfortunate lady might get mad. fuck.
Can't give up.
See, like, I've just been suspicious of her because I saw the stupid ass, like, online thing where they were like, oh, the chameleon, and it lines up with the title. And now I'm like, could have been her. Could have been her. She's a little peeved, is she not? Wolfgang! Wolfgang, don't remind me. Why is his color not? His color isn't there. He's blue. I miss Wolfgang already. I miss him already. I miss him already. You like to save your game, yeah. Just start it, man. Fuck. Can I hold up? Let me remember the controls wrong.
Let's get this started, shall we?
Confirm and cancel skip text, open trigger menu, mode, skip controls. Let's go to advanced text, search confirm. No, that's just conversation. Shit.
Welcome back to the trial grounds, everyone. Unlike previously, today will be no circus. No mockery woven with stitches and needles. A true, fair, and proper trial will commence. A battle of wits between the blackened and the spotless. I doubt I have to explain the rules
Oh my
to
God.
you again. But even so, you must vote for who you believe is the blackened. If the blackened receives the majority of votes, only they will be punished, and the rest of you will resume your killing game experience. However, if you vote for the wrong person, then expect no sympathy from your hosts. All spotless students will meet a tragic end, while the blackened will be granted release from this academy. Happy discussing! We pray for your survival and success.
Can someone please break this silence?
I don't want to talk about this.
Wolfgang deserves justice, but putting everyone's lives on the line like this is just cruel.
Oh, crap. Without a lawyer, we're totally screwed.
This killer was smart for killing the lawyer first, I'm not even gonna lie.
Whenever I turn my head, I keep expecting to see him at his podium.
Oh, don't cry, Toshiko. He's in a better place now, you hear?
Whichever one of you sick bastards did this, whatever
Yeah.
it takes,
Yeah.
no matter if I have to
She-
take the brains out of every single person here, I'll find you.
You
Yeah,
really
she
gotta
went
resort to
crazy.
violence?
Yeah, she was like, she loved him, man.
Let's just stay calm, okay? Making peace with our situation is, the first step in handling it. How the hell can I stay calm when there's a killer on the loose? That bastard is watching us right now, fully content putting our lives on the line. Is that what you call peace? Being at the mercy of some dickhead silent observer?
Well,
Wolfgang!
nobody knows for sure if the killer is even a silent observer.
Uh-huh.
If anything, the killer might try to feign innocence through other means. For instance, pretending to be outspoken about the case.
What the? Are you accusing me of something?
I mean, what you did during the investigation seems really suspicious.
Oh my, yeah, 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 yeah.
Grace do?
She stood in front of Wolfgang's dorm room and wouldn't let anyone go inside. Intentionally or not, it really hindered our investigation.
Because of Grace, almost everyone who planned to investigate Wolfgang's dorm gave up and went elsewhere. It was only after some of us started protesting that she finally relented. You know, for someone who seems so adamant about finding Wolfgang's killer, it's odd she tried to conceal potential evidence.
killer. I just think we should be cautious of her.
She has an alibi, though.
Huh?
Grace couldn't have murdered anyone. 'Cause she went to the game tournament.
Grace attended the tournament?
Does that rule her out from committing the murder?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We had to be at the dining hall by 9 a.m.-ish. Which was like half an hour before the murder. Nobody left the tournament after it started either. Nobody I know of, anyway.
There weren't many of us there. Had someone disappeared, it would have been obvious.
So, Grace is off the hook? Wow. That plot thread resolved itself quicker than I was anticipating.
So Jean, Grace, and Kai attended Cassidy and Jet's game tournament.
And me.
And Mark.
Damon and I also attended the tournament. We can also vouch for Grace.
You guys aren't lying, are you?
What the heck? Are you seriously doubting 8 testimonies?
If the 8 of you were really together when Wolfgang was discovered, then Kai, doesn't that contradict what you said before the investigation? You told everyone you and Damon found Wolfgang first. How is that possible if you guys never left the dining hall?
We kind of went down, like the stairs. We found him.
I never said I didn't leave the dining hall.
But earlier you told us you were with the other attendees.
That's because us partygoers left the dining hall together.
Mm-hmm. When the blackout struck, the tournament folk joined arms and headed straight downstairs. I would know. I saw him.
Thank you. See, you're useless, Eloise. You're useless, and shut the fuck up.
Actually, I don't recall a power outage either.
How could that be? Did an alternate timeline converge with ours?
Yeah, maybe like the one generator is focused on the one part. Blackout affected one building. It's not that hard to discern, bro.
The reason not everyone experienced the blackout is because only the building containing our dorms was affected. If I had to guess, the courtyard and tree area are connected to separate power sources.
So the tournament attendees were affected, yet they left the dining hall? Why not stay put until the power returned?
Because we were the ones who brought it back. It didn't seem like the power was being restored anytime soon, so we took up the challenge of fixing it ourselves. And just our luck, boom! We found a spare generator lying in one of the storage closets. Of course, then we found Wolfgang.
She's right. The 8 of us split into 4 pairs and inspected a storage room each.
Because of the toaster trinket map, we know which ones too. Eva and Grace check storage closet A. Jet and I check storage closet B. Damon and Kai check storage closet C. And Jean and Mark check storage closet D.
Yeah, I was with Grace. She can confirm being with me too. Yeah, we were together.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry.
Sorry? You're sorry for accusing me of murder. Sorry doesn't cut it, you conniving two-faced bitch! If you really want my mercy, then get on your knees and beg for it!
Whoa!
Well, I didn't. Literally.
Hang on.
Whoa, dude. Uncool.
You must know something about his last known whereabouts.
What makes you think she'd be privy to that?
You see, there's proof Grace spent last night with Wolfgang.
You can.
Grace and Loya Man? Talk about an unexpected pairing.
When I investigated Wolfgang's room, I saw a bunch of golfing equipment inside. Also, there was a blue woman's jacket tossed over the mantle of Wolfgang's bed.
Ugh.
He's right. I also saw the equipment and the clothes.
The clothes are understandable, maybe. But why was golfing equipment in the room?
Yo, little history dude. Wolfgang must have spilt the beans with you, right?
Why would Ulysses know anything?
Common courtesy. If you're gonna have a one-night stand, you gotta let your roomie know in advance.
That's what I'm saying.
Common courtesy also says you should watch your mouth around children.
Yes, ma'am.
Ingrid, step on me!
I'm getting this right.
Well, we only shared a dorm for one night.
You aren't bunking with him anymore?
Let me provide some context. As you may remember, after Desmond suggested everyone bunk together, the male students were directed to the dining hall. Once there, we played rock, paper, scissors to determine who would partner with who. Jet partnered with Mark, Desmond with Jean, Damon with Kai, and I with Wolfgang. Those were the pairings at the time. However, the following day, Grace and I agreed to swap rooms.
Yeah? Why'd you do that?
For reasons.
Totally not suspicious.
It was a win-win situation. I get Grace out of my hair. She gets me out of hers.
You two were originally bunking together?
The pairings were decided via a game of tic-tac-toe. I wasn't big on my partner being chosen for me, so when the opportunity arose to change that, I took it.
Thus, I became Winona's roommate, and Grace became Wolfgang's.
Can confirm. I watched the whole thing play out.
Since the room swap happened the night after we implemented the bunk buddy system, that would mean Grace and Wolfgang have been bunking for about a day and a half. Ugh, gross.
In that case, Desmond was right about those two being together last night. Grace, did Wolfgang act strange at any point? Like, maybe he said something that stuck out to you, or, oh, maybe he had trouble getting to sleep.
No. Nothing weird happened last night. Nothing happened last night, but... The morning of the murder, this morning, Wolfgang told me he felt sick.
Sick?
With a stomachache. It hurt so bad he couldn't get out of bed. I was gonna cancel my plans for today, but he convinced me to attend the tournament. So, I left his room right after the morning announcement. And yes, I'm talking about the game tournament. The same one Wolfgang acted all hesitant about attending. Newsflash, I changed his mind after breakfast yesterday.
Hold on a sec. That ain't what you told me this morning.
What did Grace tell you?
Simply put, she felt like competing. Grace knew I planned to compete as well, so she asked me to be her sparring partner, since you needed one to enter the tournament.
She withheld information.
Aye, that she did. Of course, since I now know Wolfgang's condition at the time, I can't say I blame her. If someone you cared for was in a vulnerable position, would you go around and admit that in a killing game? No. You would try to protect that person by saying nothing at all.
When you put it that way, man, sounds rough.
I think it's obtuse.
Huh?
Say we assume the best of Grace. She withheld information not to trick anyone, but to protect someone she cares about. What then should we make of the glaring contradiction in her testimony?
What the hell do you mean, contradiction?
If your bunking partner was too ill to make the short trek to the dining hall, how did he walk all the way to the boiler room?
Maybe because he wasn't sick?
If Wolfgang really were bedridden, he would have stayed in his room.
Now that you mention it, to reach the underground floor, wouldn't Wolfgang need to descend, like, 4 flights of stairs? It's nothing for a healthy person, but for a guy who's supposedly really sick...
It's not my fault it doesn't make sense. It's just what Wolfgang told me.
Yeah. Didn't we decide Grace wasn't the killer anyway?
That's not to say she doesn't know more than she's letting on.
I'm not withholding anything else. Leave me alone!
Hold up,
Why
hold
don't
up.
you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
Change bullet, fire bullet, show truth bullet menu. Speed up. Cycle.
I've got nothing else to explain. The last I saw Wolfgang, he was...
We would have found those by now.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
That, or Wolfgang never told Grace he was sick.
I wouldn't lie about what he said.
What if Wolfgang used the elevator in the tree?
You're not helping.
Why don't you tell everyone the truth, Grace?
Nothing else to explain. The last I saw Wolfgang, he was in our dorm room.
Okay, hear me out.
We would have found.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
That, or
Wolfgang never told Grace he was sick.
I wouldn't lie about what he said.
What if Wolfgang used the elevator in the tree?
You're not helping.
There's a major discrepancy in Wolf's assessment necessarily fall for that.
Why don't you tell
So
everyone
Grace didn't
the
fucking
truth,
say anything.
Grace?
Nothing else to explain.
Okay, hear me out.
We would have found those by now.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the killer.
that, or Wolfgang never
Oh, I fucking found it. It's when she says carried by the killer.
We would have found those.
Maybe Wolfgang was carried by the...
Ugh.
No, that's wrong!
I'm the goat. I'm the goat. I
Sure,
know.
Grace's testimony is inconsistent with where we found Wolfgang's body. But that's not Grace's fault. The only person we should be blaming is Wolfgang himself.
What the heck? Why are you blaming him?
Simple. Because he lied about being sick.
Wow, really?
Seriously?
You can cooperate. Can't you, Toshiko? During the investigation, you told me you saw Wolfgang in the hallways at 8:10 a.m.
That's after I left.
Yes, I remember now. Ingrid. She developed a headache, so I went to the pharmacy to find some medication. The trip itself went fine, but when I returned to the hallway, I found myself face to face
With Wolfgang? Hold the phone! Toshiko actually saw Wolfgang?
We had a normal, pleasant exchange. He appeared perfectly healthy and even mentioned going to the tournament. Of course, he never made it.
I don't want to be that guy, but can anyone confirm this?
I haven't been chatting a while in my room. Though I was bedridden like a sitting ghost, I could still make out their voices here and there.
Strange. He told Grace he wouldn't attend the tournament, but then said the opposite to Toshiko.
Sounds like he was telling fibs to conceal his actual intentions.
And what's his true plan supposed to be?
To go to the boiler room. Most likely.
I'm lost. What business would a guy like him have down there?
The note. The note.
This is it. During the investigation, I found this note tucked away inside Wolfgang's blazer pocket. A lot of it is water damaged. The paper looks like it was ripped from a notebook, and the handwriting was done in ink.
A notebook, you say?
Some parts are still legible.
No, it's crazy because there's only one guy here I know who has a notebook.
This mentions the boiler room.
Exactly. The fact we found Wolfgang in the boiler room, and this note in his pocket, it can't be a coincidence. This note must be the reason Wolfgang went there.
That mention of a secret sure is suspicious. I'm willing to bet Wolfie's reason had something to do with it.
Agreeing to meet a stranger in some spooky dark place? Wolfgang had nerves of steel.
That's what I'm saying, like, jeez Louise.
Grace, do you remember Wolfgang getting delivered a weird note?
No. The only time I recall him receiving anything was when Tozu distributed those envelopes.
I don't know anything about a note.
Really? Wolfgang shared nothing with you guys?
Guess he didn't want them to know what it said.
Right. And if Wolfgang wanted to keep this note a secret, he would obviously want to keep the meeting a secret too.
Then the reason he told Grace he felt sick
was to remove her from the picture. Yeah, once she's not in the room, Wolfgang has his opportunity to sneak out and head downstairs. That's also why he encouraged her to attend the tournament.
Didn't this same guy ask us to share our blackmail with each other? Talk about double standards.
Are we sure he wasn't just trying to protect Grace? Maybe he knew he was meeting someone dangerous, so he thought it would be safer not to involve her.
That does sound like something Wolfgang would do.
Not to interrupt, but on the subject of blackmail, did Wolfgang ever confront the person he had?
Oh? You don't know whose blackmail he got?
Well, if you recall what Wolfgang said originally.
Wolfgang!
Regardless of the blackmail's contents, it would be treated as a matter between the recipient and the subject of the blackmail, and no one else. Which makes me wonder, could whether or not Wolfgang confronted his person clue us into what had originally been written on that note?
I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
If that person somehow realized Wolfgang carried their blackmail, but never came forward about it, they could have demanded Wolfgang show it to them, hence the mention of a secret. However, if Wolfgang did confront his person, I don't see why that same person would then send him a threatening note. Not least act coy about information they both know.
If the person being blackmailed wasn't the one who wrote the note, who was?
Obviously, it would be the student with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, I knew that.
Yes, the secret in question may actually be a reference to Wolfgang's blackmail, not the sender's.
Is there any way to figure out whose secret it is?
We'd probably need to know whose blackmail Wolfgang had first.
Oh, I've got just the idea. Yo! Person who Wolfgang had blackmail on! If he gave you your blackmail back, can you say something?
Don't forget the person with Wolfgang's blackmail.
Oh, right. Hey! Person who's got Wolfgang's blackmail! If you're innocent, say something already!
I was hesitant to admit it, since I knew it would put me on the spot. But I'd rather be suspected than be the reason this trial comes to a standstill.
Are you confessing? Do you have Wolfgang's blackmail?
No, he doesn't. I do.
Nah, not his.
Seriously? Way to be anticlimactic.
However, it's thanks to him that I have my own.
Your own?
Wolfgang approached me the same day everyone received an envelope. Funnily enough, it happened right after I'd finished speaking with my own person. He and we had a good talk. He gave me his envelope and asked me to take care of it. If you need the proof.
Ah, Wolfgang's envelope had the same signature.
Aye, I held on to the letter for safekeeping.
Sean, you're a G, bro.
I realized that. I suppose my pride was stronger than my rectitude. My mistake for stringing everyone along.
I mean, at least you're on.
Truth! Thanks for letting us know, bud.
Indeed. To recognize, to acknowledge one's own misdoings is a most virtuous feat, I believe.
Right. It's very noble.
I take it our other blackmail person isn't gonna.
If nothing happens, let's just have everyone recite whose blackmail they got one by one.
Huh?
No one's reciting shit!
It was only a suggestion. Calm your farm.
Even if we knew who had Wolfgang's blackmail, that doesn't necessarily mean they're his killer. It's annoying they won't speak up, sure.
You know what'd be crazy? You know what'd be crazy?
Like John.
If somebody said that they had Wolfgang's blackmail, but we have Wolfgang's blackmail. So if somebody said that, then they'd be, ooh, shit. Oh my god.
Especially now that he's gone.
I don't know. Is it really okay?
And that's how we find out the murder is somebody like slips out and like, oh, I have Wolfgang's blackmail. And you'd be like, no, I actually have Wolfgang's blackmail.
If we want to solve this case, we need indisputable evidence.
Yeah. It's like doing a jigsaw puzzle without the box art to help you.
The case is?
Obviously, the case. The more pieces you connect, the clearer the image you're constructing becomes. The clearer the image, the more you can assume about it. Do you see what I'm saying? Once we know how Wolfgang died, the rest of this case will fall into place.
You certainly talk a lot stranger than you used to, but I think I get it.
Well, I don't want to be the one to start, but we can all agree Wolfgang was stabbed to death, right? When I was in the boiler room, I saw a knife bobbing around in the water near him. And on the ground, there was blood. Dried blood. On the boiler room floor and on the hallway floor.
That's gotta be Wolfgang's blood, right?
The knife was bloody, so...
Seems like a brawl happened in the hallway. While poor Wolfie was minding his own business, he was confronted by the killer, who attacked him and chased him into the boiler room.
That would line up with how we found him.
Is this really how you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room and...
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
It was probably So sneak up on Wolfgang, stand him from behind.
And...
That knife ripped and blown on his tail. Wolfgang had no other place to run but the boiler room.
So...
The killer entered the boiler room after me. Which was when they,
ended it.
Is this really how you guys...
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence.
It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
Nah, it was probably a sneak attack. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, stabbed him.
That does not dispute.
Is this really how...
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him.
Not just that,
there's blood on the boiler room floor
and along the
underground hallway.
A confrontation must have happened in those hallways.
I'm having a hard time understanding how...
Is this
blood
really how
spots?
you guys think Wolfgang died?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was...
Floating in the water right next to him. Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor and along the underground hallway.
A confrontation happened in those hallways.
Fucking hell, dude.
Is this really...
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to him. Not just that, there's blood on the boiler room floor and
Stabbed him from behind.
Is this really how you...
So it's something somebody else said?
Half-wielding villain on his tail. Wolfgang had no other place to run but the boiler room.
Fuck, dude.
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence.
Had no other place to run but the boiler.
Is this really...
Gosh, I'm so screwed. I don't know what to hit. I'm trying to connect the dots here.
So, the killer entered the boiler room after, which was when they...
You know.
Is this really how you guys think?
I literally shot everything with everything, bro.
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. Snuck up on...
Wolfgang had no other place to run but the boiler.
See, it's not even...
Is this really
Is it the tablet?
The bloody knife is way too big of a coincidence. It was floating in the water right next to it.
In those homes.
Okay. Stabbed him from behind.
No, that's wrong!
Oh my goodness.
Jet,
Fucking was the
you
tablet.
talk a lot about the knife and the bloodstains on the floor, but did you ever look at Wolfgang himself?
I gave him a glance. Nothing too deep.
I figured. Had you actually taken the time to look at Wolfgang's back, you would have noticed a clear absence of stab wounds. In fact, none of the injuries he sustained were the type to cause severe blood loss. Seriously. We went over the same thing with Cassidy during the mock trial. Couldn't you give Wolfgang the dignity of a proper investigation?
Hey, man! It's not like I didn't try! It's just... this stuff doesn't come easy, you know? Nobody wakes up thinking they'll have to solve their buddy's murder later.
Isn't that exactly what you should be worrying about in a killing game?
Not everyone has the stomach for investigating. That's fine. That's why you got people like me to do the heavy lifting. Since some of us here weren't able to investigate Wolfgang's body, I'll lay out his injuries. There were 2 marks on the back of his neck, a bruise, and a tiny red dot. His hands were burnt too, so 3 injuries in total. Besides that, I caught nothing else.
Burns, you say?
Junior high, my dear Wilson. The killer used a flamethrower.
These didn't look like normal burns. Not the sort you'd get from a stove fire, or a hot iron, or a flamethrower, I suppose.
Contradicting my theory outright? Jeez. So this is the thanks I get for vocalizing my thoughts?
Where would he get a fucking flamethrower, dipshit?
Yes, if I may add on to what John said, the burns actually bore a strong resemblance to what you might see in cases of corona paralysis.
Chiaro... Huh?
Ooh, now this I know.
Thank you, Ingrid. Speak your truth.
Paralysis. It's something which happens to lightning strike victims. Getting struck by lightning is like getting kicked by a horse.
It sure is.
The impact is so shocking. Some people will lose all feeling in their limbs for a few hours.
I was aware of lightning paralysis, but even I didn't know its official name. That's a nice head you've got on your shoulders.
Lots of people tend to overlook the importance of lightning safety, especially where I'm from. My grandpappy once tried working out in the open during a thunderstorm. Pure luck's the only reason he lived to see the next day.
Sorry to hear that and all, but what does lightning have to do with anything?
Well, if I had to guess, Ulysses, did it look like a big old tree was drawn on Wolfie?
A big old tree. Yes, that's how I would describe the burns on Wolfgang.
So Wolfgang had lightning strike scars?
We're trapped inside a building, though. Lightning can't come from anywhere.
Could he not have been struck before the killing game? Fate is stronger than will, you know. Perhaps the deity decreed the glow of his altruism from their heavenly abode and felt him a threat.
Nay, those burns were fresh. One look was all it took for me to know that. If he had these scars before, we would have noticed them anyway.
But if those marks were recently inflicted, wouldn't it mean Wolfgang somehow went outside?
Not necessarily. This is only something I thought of just now, but the reason Wolfgang sustained burns similar to that of lightning strike victims may be because whatever inflicted his burns was equivalent in damage to a lightning strike.
Like a taser.
You saying there's something out here channeling the power of lightning?
Last I recall,
Oh, I meant like the generator. You should show us what we're doing. I meant the generator, not the cardboard box.
Ulysses, since you write everything down, do you have a description of the boiler room in your notebook?
Yes, I do.
Although the generator wasn't generating the power,
Since
but
some
you know,
people
whatever.
here never investigated the crime scene, they probably aren't as familiar with the room as we are. So, you should read out your description of it.
Sure. The boiler room consists of a small concrete platform surrounded by ankle-deep water. Throughout the room are boxes filled with various garbage, and in the back looks to be a generator, charred beyond belief. What you just heard is a brief summary of my notes.
Hear that? There's a generator inside the boiler room. Of all the things which could deal similar damage to a lightning strike, doesn't a generator sound the most likely?
Didn't Ulysses say it was destroyed?
At the time of the investigation, sure. But it wasn't always destroyed. You probably don't remember. But back when we found the dummy, I mentioned something about the underground floor. To be more specific, it was the boiler room I woke up inside. I hadn't been alone either. Ava was also there.
I woke up first.
Yeah. She did. Anyway, Ava, you agreed the generator was in full working condition when we woke up, right?
Right.
So in the time since you woke up there, the generator was destroyed?
It's the only possibility. As for what destroyed the generator, well, it's hard to say for sure. My best guess would probably be...
don't waste my time.
Oh shit.
Two things. First, destroyed is overly vague. Ulysses explained the state of the generator much better. Charred beyond belief. Second, and more importantly, where's your proof the generator inflicted those burns?
What are you talking about? The generator must be involved. It's near where Wolfgang is lying.
Being within range of something counts as proof now, does it? Do you also consider happenstance as conclusive evidence? Funny not a standard shift, if so.
That's...
EQ.
While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days. Do I really? Day 1, we were Day 3, and Day 5 in the period. While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed.
What about the blackout? It's impossible for the generator to cause the blackout if it was already broken prior to the tournament.
What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the murder. You only assume it happened during. Not the smartest argument from a supposed ultimate debater. What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the...
I'll cut through those words!
Suck my dick.
When the blackout happened, it froze a piece of equipment which had been set up for the game tournament.
Oh shit, it's not fuck.
Mark's DJ pad. While there was no physical clock inside the dining hall, a digital one has been built into Mark's pad. If you look at what time the digital clock is frozen on, it matches the time of death listed on the tablet, 9:35 a.m.
Well, Mark, Is this true?
There's no point in me saying anything when someone else has already said it better.
Just answer with a yes or no, will you?
Yes.
In any
Suck
case,
my dick, Winona.
the matching times
I'll
are too much
hop
of a
on it.
coincidence.
Go, 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 go.
The destruction of the generator caused a blackout. And the
Fucking frame
blackout
is so
occurred at the
big.
time
It's
of
not
the
like
murder.
Danganronpa's frames.
There's no way the destruction of the generator wasn't tied to Wolfgang's death.
Yeah, hop off my dick, nigga.
What do you suppose happened then?
I'm willing to bet the generator's destruction resulted in the boiler room's
Hop
water
on my dick,
being
Winona.
electrified. Since Wolfgang was discovered kneeling in the water, we can reason he was standing in it at the time this happened, and...
Damon, you and I both know that's not true.
Huh?
Did you forget? It's impossible for the water in the boiler room to play a role in Wolfgang's murder. Because it isn't even conductive.
It's not?
After Damon and I woke up in the boiler room, I wanted to investigate the flooded area. So, I tested the... I even redid my test during the investigation, since Damon wasn't sure if he should touch Wolfgang's wet clothes. In both instances, I proved the water was safe to enter. To be honest, neither result really surprised me. Water will only act as a conductor if it makes contact with two separate energy sources. The boiler room's generator is just one source.
If you're standing in the water, one
extension
outlet should
cord?
be enough. Speaking from experience, large bodies of water are terrifying conductors during storms. All it takes is one lightning bolt, and the surrounding miles are scorched.
But the generator is a slow, persistent source of electricity. It's not the same as a lightning strike.
Electricity is electricity. Doesn't matter how it manifests. The reason you two avoided electrocution is because the generator's exposed wires aren't even touching the water. If they were, you would have been scorched right from the start.
Maybe when the generator was destroyed, some of the wiring fell into the water?
Nah. Even in its current sorry state, the generator's wires are nowhere near the water.
It doesn't make sense for the generator to pose a danger anyway. The point of the killing game is for the students to kill each other, not for the facility to kill the students. A feature of the building killing a student would be a meaningless death because you can't attribute a student killer to it.
As for why the generator's been charred, sometimes electrical faults happen. Even my ship's engines have broken under particularly relentless storms. And if an electrical fault caused Wolfgang's death, then his murder is purely on the hosts, ain't it?
Of course! If we were responsible for his death, you lot wouldn't be here discussing it.
Okay, since we've ruled out the generator, what else could have electrocuted Wolfgang?
It mightn't be relevant, but I did see one other thing on the boiler room floor. A toy gun or something. At least, that's how it came across to me.
Not a toy gun, a taser gun.
A taser? I'll shoot electricity!
I'm not sure how the taser fits in with this case, though. It doesn't seem to have been used.
Nope. The taser was definitely used.
Thank you, Desmond. See your G,
How
bro.
so? I didn't catch any sort of string protruding from it.
Not all taser guns release a string when fired. Some are completely wireless. For those types, you can tell they've been used if their blast doors are missing. Side note, blast doors are plastic panels which cover the muzzle of a taser. If a shot is fired, they pop clean off. When I was investigating the crime scene, I found the taser gun in one spot and its blast doors in another. Speaks for itself, yeah?
And here I was thinking the yellow bits were just random trash.
Where the heck did a taser gun even come from? Last time I checked, there weren't any lying around in the storage closets.
Maybe it belongs to someone here.
Huh?
Just think about it for 1 second.
Who?
Everyone here has a dorm room which is themed around their talent. Mine's got DJ equipment, Jet's got car batteries. If that's what we have with our talents, What could someone with a dangerous talent have?
Are you talking about, like, knives and stuff? What? Is there something on my face?
Forget this. The person I'm talking about is Desmond.
Huh? No way! You think the gun is Desmond's?
Yeah.
Hang on. You got it all mixed up.
Jean, do you know anything about this? As Desmond's roommate, perhaps you spotted something inside his dorm.
Alas, we stayed in my abode. I couldn't tell you that
We stayed in my abode.
Talk about suspicious.
Did Desmond agree to bunk in Jean's dorm so Jean wouldn't see the weapons in his?
Listen, I get where you guys are coming from, but that taser gun, it's not mine. I've never seen anything like it.
No, that's a lie.
A lie?
What? Did Desmond kill? No! Desmond? It's blackmail, yeah.
Got it.
Eva's little note.
The blackmail tools you gave us. That's my evidence.
You didn't get mine, did you?
No. But the person who did informed me of what it said.
The writing style seems to match. I think it's legit.
That's more than a little suspicious, don't you think? Leaving a bunch of weapons unguarded during a killing game?
Don't judge me. This is the first time I'm hearing of it too.
You didn't know there were weapons in your room?
Yep, no idea.
Our rooms aren't particularly
No.
Are we supposed to believe yours is any different?
It is themed. I'm not denying that. But I sure as hell didn't catch sight of any weapons. If I did, do you seriously think I'd leave them unguarded and risk being found out?
Yeah. Desmond cares too much about everyone. He pointed out the broken doorknobs and gave us the idea to bunk together. Why would he hide weapons in his room?
Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent, and found the taser gun hidden inside. There's no other way to explain it.
So while Desmond gets a bunch of guns, all I get is an old game console and a deck controller.
Take the bad with the good, dearest people. No one fears game consoles. Well, no one besides parents and the religiously inclined.
Enough talking about consoles. Why are you guys believing Desmond so easily? If the taser gun belongs to him, then he's the killer. Any argument he makes against it is just a flimsy excuse.
Wow. Wow. Oh, fuck! I hate this.
Desmond is the killer.
Blackout, taser gun.
I had no idea the gun even existed. I was barely in my dorm to begin with.
Because you wanted to draw attention away from your weapons hoard.
This is about avoiding suspicion. Why did Desmond say the taser gun was fired? I don't think the killer would draw attention to their own murder weapon. What's with Desmond?
I call it reverse psychology. You sprinkle in a little happiness,
And suddenly everyone trusts you.
When the murder happened,
Desmond is the killer. The taser gun came from his room.
I had no idea the gun even existed. I was barely in my dorm to begin with.
I don't know. And plus, I was like at 1 health anyways. Did the game freeze? I think the game froze. I think the game froze on me. That's no. Oh my god. Oh my god, I have to redo this whole fucking trial. God damn it. That's what I hate about indie games. They can't function right. Now I have to do this whole trial again. Fucking.
Well, unlike a true however,
Can Wolf?
You? That's no. If for, I mean, she's in.
I have to do this whole trial again.
Great.
Does that?
Well, nobody.
There.
And me and
Damon and we.
You
What?
If then you
That's
There.
actually.
I got it.
Oh, I have to do Winona's stupid fucking shit again. Oh my god.
Because Eva, Damon, and Kai.
Yeah. So.
What?
when I invent
He's the.
yeah.
What?
Well,
You.
let me as you once jet those, however,
Yeah.
for told
It was
You.
the pen I
thus
Can't.
Since.
Oh my god.
Like enough. The more. With a, I was so, and new.
Oh. Simple. Grace.
she
Course. If so. No.
Wait.
say what? If you're out,
good.
Now that it's not.
It's not.
that's
I'm not.
Stop.
why don't you tell everyone the truth?
Fuck, I messed it. Oh my.
Why don't you tell everyone?
No, that's wrong.
God, I have to go through this entire fucking trial again.
It's the only person. Simple. You can during. I don't
The
Sound?
to go.
This is it.
But some this except it can't.
That meant
Agree.
you.
no.
real.
Guess right.
Then
Was to report that's also.
Didn't the
Maybe.
On the
Oh.
well. Regard which if that they could, however, not le
If the oh.
yeah.
We'd
Don't forget.
If you're.
I was. But.
Are you?
Nah. However.
You're.
Wolf. Ian. If you need the.
Ah.
This should have. My mistake.
I'm
Trip.
I'd
If.
Even if it's a no, but unlike this person,
I don't know.
sir, if we want.
Yeah. It's obvious. The more the do you see you.
Well, we're not.
That's.
Well, that. Is this really how you guys think?
A coincidence. It was floating in the water right next. It was. The killer snuck up on Wolfgang, Step. No, that's wrong.
That took me a fucking while.
Jet, but I figured, have you in fact serious?
Blah blah blah. Yep.
So
Yep, yappity.
But the reason was he could.
This is it.
Thank you, Desmond.
So,
I mean, not Desmond, Damon. Oh my god, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, backstory. Can we get to the part where I was at? Fucking. Alright, here's Winona's thing. Do this fucking shit.
That?
While the generator may look suspicious, consider the time frame we're working with. If the only time you saw the generator in full working condition was on the day of our kidnapping, that gives us a period of almost 4 days, in which the generator might have been destroyed.
What about the blackout? It's impossible for the generator to cause the blackout if it was already broken prior to the tournament.
What about the blackout? The building may very well have lost its power at any point before or after the...
I'll cut through those words!
Yeah, I'll cut through those words.
When the black marks...
Fucking game freezes on me.
There's just... Yes.
And any of the
What do you...
I'm willing to... Since...
Damon,
Huh?
did you become... after... So... I invoke to be the board.
If you're speaking all,
But the...
elect the if the... Nah.
It doesn't... The point of feet...
As some and it of...
Oh,
Yeah,
Not a. I'm not.
Nope.
How?
Not for those sites. When I
In here. Where? Maybe. Just think every. If that.
are you? Whoa.
no.
Yeah.
As
Allow.
that no a lot.
I got it.
The black... You know?
That's more than a...
You. Yep.
A room...
It is. If I did,
He...
someone must. There's no other way to.
So what?
Take the will.
Enough. If it's just a...
So I don't think I'm supposed to shoot Desmond's statement. Otherwise we're gonna have to do this all fucking over again.
Desmond is the killer! The taser gun came from his...
I had no idea the gun even existed. I was barely my door.
Begin with.
First you wanted to draw attention. Away from your weapon core!
If this is about avoiding suspicion, why did Desmond say the taser gun was fired? I don't think it...
Trying to draw attention to their own murder weapon.
I was...
Oh my god, that actually worked. Yeah, we skipped over the part that we fucked up on last time.
Regardless of whether or not Desmond knew about the gun.
Now we can play the game
Desmond
again.
wasn't involved in the murder. Eloise can back me up on this.
Right. Desmond and I... we were together in the courtyard at the time of Wolfgang's death.
I see. Then both of you can be ruled out as suspects.
Don't just take her word for it. She could be covering for Desmond.
Jeez, if you have a bone to pick with these guys, at least save it for when we're not solving a murder.
Yeah. Why don't you want to believe Eloise?
Ever since the investigation, these two yuppies have been on my case non-stop. They're obviously working together.
Not gonna lie, I see where Grace is coming from.
Boo.
When Eloise tried to single her out earlier, Desmond was pretty quick to jump in and agree.
Even so... since the topic has been brought up, I would like to mention something.
What?
During my trip to the pharmacy, I believe I saw Desmond and Eloise in the courtyard together.
You also said you were back in the hallways around 8-10 a.m., didn't you? That means those two were wandering around unsupervised. Either one of them could have left the courtyard.
If Desmond was the killer, what would Eloise gain from defending him? Should the wrong vote be cast, nothing about the rules suggests an accomplice of the killer would be exempt from execution.
That's right. And even if she was exempt, Eloise is too nice to be an accomplice to murder.
Grace, I realize Desmond's irked you, but that's no reason to keep steering everyone down a dead end. Let's move on.
A person who's always steering others down a dead end, huh? I guess they needed a GPS. Anyway, we should totally thank Desmond for clearing things up now. Not only do we know he's not the killer, now we know how the killer got their hands on the taser.
Now we know how... What?
Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent, and found the taser gun hidden inside.
Yup, that is word for word what Desmond said.
Right. Good memory.
All in a day's work, baby!
Oh, she didn't say baby at the end?
Can you repeat
Get the wording right?
quote, Cassidy?
Again. But I just said it.
Yeah, but I want you to say it again.
Alright. Someone must have gotten the idea to rifle through my dorm because of my talent and found the taser gun hidden inside.
Is there something on your mind?
If Desmond's testimony is anything to go by, then wouldn't this mean the culprit has to be male?
What?
If I remember correctly, all the guys were aware of each other's pairings. With that sort of knowledge, a male student could try and infiltrate another male student's dorm.
None of us knew which room we'd be bunking in.
It only takes a quick peek to check if someone's inside or not. Anyone could have done that.
And who's to say the thief didn't barge in before we started bunking?
Or while people were having breakfast.
Seems there was a mountain of opportunities for our culprit to sneak in unnoticed. Doesn't exactly help us narrow things down, does it?
Well, guess this taser gun was a bust.
Look on the bright side. If it's been fired, then it's probably what electrocuted Wolfie. If trying to suss out who stole it isn't feasible, why don't we, talk about Wolfie's other injuries instead? You know, the ones that weren't burn marks? Those seem like they could lead us somewhere.
Yeah. Besides the burns on his hands, Wolfgang also had a bruise and a tiny red dot on the back of his neck.
A bruise and a tiny dot, huh? Wanna try tackling them in alphabetical order?
Alphabetical order? Now, aren't you full of smart ideas?
No need to thank me. It's only common sense.
Okay,
Ingrid, please step on me.
let's discuss the bruise first.
Yeah, that's definitely the wrong pen.
The killer.
Yeah, this is true.
Into a fight? Someone might have attacked him.
If you can even reach that high.
Either way, something must have hit him.
What if Wolfie fell over?
I think it's Kai's statement. I think Kai said something smart.
For his neck.
If you can even...
Either way, something...
There we go. Kai! My N-word! I've come to like you a little bit.
Right. Something did hit Wolfgang.
Really? Man. And I was only blurting out the first thing which came to mind. Anyway, from how you're wording things, do you know what that something is?
A rolling pin.
Eh?
Wolfgang was hit with a rolling pin.
How on earth did you reach that conclusion?
Ava and I found this pin inside storage closet A, which is just a few feet from the crime scene. Coincidentally, the pin also has a dent.
You sure that's enough to say it's involved? Could just be a flimsy pin.
No. There's something else which solidifies this pin's role in the murder. Handprints. 2 of them on the edge of the pin.
So the killer used a rolling pin to attack Wolfgang?
It certainly explains the bruising on his neck.
They must have wanted him to be unconscious so he wouldn't fight back.
Exactly. It would be easier to drag him into the water if he's not awake.
You reckon the killer purposely put Wolfie in the water?
Damn! With one electrified blow, Wolfgang is zapped to bits with the taser! Since he's lying in the water, he's definitely a goner.
Considering the logical ethos of the killer's rectitude, especially when governed under constricting pressure, leaving him catatonic would be the most facile solution.
I guess it makes sense.
Another fucking non-stop debate. I hate these because they could glitch out my game.
So let me get this straight.
The killer knocked out Wolfgang with a rolling pin. And then
Chuck the pin into closet A?
When exactly did they discard the pin?
And I were already downstairs. Because the 2 of us went inside.
Jed and I checked closet B.
Before we came downstairs.
Yeah. The killer could run upstairs and go back to their room immediately after starting the pin.
But he didn't because we heard footsteps. Idiot. Lock in! Lock in, guys! Lock in!
Diana, there's proof the killer fled the underground hallway at a later time. When the tournament attendees were looking for a backup generator, Kai and I heard someone run past our room.
Huh?
Oh man, that's right. We were just exploring the closet when all of a
Oh, it's
sudden,
music. Oh.
we heard footsteps in the hallway. That's when Damon decided he was gonna follow where the footsteps came from and entered the boiler room.
Did anyone else hear these footsteps?
Nope. Not ringing any bells.
Yeah, Jed and me didn't really hear it over all our talking.
I heard the footsteps.
Huh? You did?
Well, I initially thought it was my imagination, so I never said anything.
Ashamed to say I also brushed off the footsteps. Thought I was hearing things. However, since other people can attest to hearing them...
Then someone else was on the underground floor with us.
Before anyone tries to bring it up, none of the tournament attendees could have been the person running. Since everyone explored the closets in pairs, they all have solid alibis.
I'm sure we can all vouch for that, aye?
Everyone was still in their closets after Damon and I found Wolfgang. So,
Considering the footsteps were moving away from the crime scene, I think it's safe to say they belong to the killer.
Wouldn't that mean the killer fled while you guys were exploring the rooms?
Hold up! So the killer had been right next to us?
Doy, that's a given.
huh? How are you so calm after hearing that? The only thing which stood between us and a murderer was a door. What if they attacked us?
Well, they did it, so I don't see what the problem is.
Sheesh, you're weird.
Why not run away early?
Type shit, Kai.
Fleeing
Honestly, warming up to you, man.
Really risky.
Maybe it was a miscalculation?
It's not impossible, I guess.
If not that, then maybe the killer returned to the boiler room after discarding the pin?
Sounds pretty meat-headed if you ask me.
Yes, you'd think a killer would use that moment to run away.
For the 2 who heard the footsteps, describe the sound.
It was kinda... socky. as in, it sounded pretty soft. Like the person had taken off their shoes.
Saki, huh? Seems this killer was purposefully trying to keep quiet.
'Cause their footsteps were soft?
That seems like a leap in logic.
No, I get what she's saying. Everyone here has socks on, I'm pretty sure. So any one of us could have run down the hallway. The thing with shoes is, not everyone here has the same kind. If the killer had worn theirs, we might have been able to figure out their footwear from the sound it made on the floor. Then we just have to single out.
Guy's low-key cooking. He's low-key cooking.
Man, it would have been so easy to find the killer.
We already can find the killer, though.
Oi, are you pulling our leg?
I'm completely serious. Picture a map of the building complex in your head. The building with the dorms is on the left, the courtyard is in the middle, and the building with the tree is on the right. Now, try and pin everyone's locations during Wolfgang's murder. Once you do that, the identity of the killer will definitely become clear.
Ooh.
The killer's someone whose position we can't place?
No, it's not about position.
Eh?
Wolfgang's killer can easily lie about their location during the murder. The only thing distinguishing their testimony from everyone else's is that theirs can't be corroborated.
Ooh. Okay. You're Ulysses. You can't do it. You couldn't have done it. You were with Ingrid. You were with her. You were with Desmond. You were with us. You couldn't have done it.
It has to be.
Ooh. I fucking. Oh god, the theories were right.
Huh? The makeup girl?
Loki knew it. Loki knew it. Because the fucking spoilers from the guy.
Those of us who attended the tournament can obviously be ruled out. And as for those who didn't,
I'm never watching another Eden's Garden prediction ever again, bro. Fucking spoil this whole thing.
What about Winona? She never mentioned an alibi.
Give me a break.
Winona and I were in the building with the tree all morning. In fact, yes, Desmond and Eloise should have witnessed us walking over there, as those two were in the courtyard at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
In that case, Diana really is the only one without an alibi.
Guys,
if she's the person who fled the boiler room, those footsteps we heard make a lot more sense. Heels make a pretty loud clop sound on hard floors, and the underground hallway's floor is pretty hard. Diana would obviously want to take them off. Also, heels aren't comfy to run in.
Whoa! I didn't even think of it like that. You're totally right, though. Since Diana's the only one here with heels, she would have to take them off.
Guys, what are you talking about? Me? A killer? Do you really think I could be a killer?
Not like.
The fact you weren't at the tournament is incriminating enough.
Not just that. Everyone but you has an alibi.
But I do have an alibi, right, Ava? You woke up with me this morning, and you never saw me leave my dorm.
During the brief amount of time we were together, I never saw you leave. What you did after I left for the game tournament, however, is anyone's guess.
Ava wanted to help me and Cash set up the tournament, so we told her to swing by early.
For that reason, I left Diana's dorm at 8:05 a.m. I know the exact time since her room has a clock. I probably entered the dining hall around 8:10 a.m.-ish.
So much for an alibi, then.
Diana, don't tell me.
Damn.
Holy smokes, it's all falling into place!
Are we sure there hasn't been some sort of misunderstanding?
It's not possible. Diana can't be the killer. No! I refuse to believe it!
dun, 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 dun.
If it was Diana inside that room,
could she be the one who hit the blood trail?
because if so, that might be her blood on the knife too.
Diana's blood? She wounded herself?
Wounded? What makes you think that?
I don't know. Her own weapon.
Did the killer was wielding a rope?
Well, maybe the rolling pin in one hand and the knife in the other.
Fuck, what do I actually click here? That person's point is clearly impossible. They should realize much if they...
If it was Diana inside that boiler room, could she be the one?
Oh, cause, oh god, we have to go back to Toshiko's.
Wounded herself?
She couldn't have, because there were two,
Her own weapon.
Did we not already?
Well, maybe they had both. The rolling pin in one.
No, that's wrong!
No. The killer was only wielding the rolling pin during their confrontation with Wolfgang. You can tell just from looking at the pin. There are two handprints wrapped around the edge, as if the killer had been holding the pin like a tennis racket. Which makes sense, because you can swing with more force if you use both hands.
Sayaka character, bro. She was like, let's all work together, guys! Kills.
Who held the knife?
It wasn't the killer, so it was most likely the only other person in the boiler room. Wolfgang Akire.
Probably low-key used it as self-defense, bro.
Wolfgang, carrying a dangerous weapon? Bullshit!
If you were in his situation, wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying.
Wolfgang received an anonymous message asking him to meet in a basement, all whilst in the middle of a killing game. At that point, doesn't matter how much of an optimist he is. No better than to come unarmed.
A knife isn't super hard to find, either. Wolfgang probably just stole one from the kitchen.
Besides, if Diana is the one who got stabbed, it would explain the blood trail. Think about it. She arms herself with the rolling pin and attacks Wolfgang, getting hurt by him in the process. For some reason, possibly because of the blackout,
I'll be back in a minute.
she doesn't clean the blood trail she's left, and returns.
Told me sooner. They couldn't have told me sooner, but whatever.
No! That's wrong!
Huh?
I wasn't stabbed. If I was stabbed, then I'd have an injury. But there's nothing, right? There's nothing on me.
Depends. If a vein got nipped, you'd be seeing blood no matter the size of the cut. Of course, that also means a small cut will need bandaging, which I'm not seeing on you.
You may not see any injuries on Diana, but that doesn't mean they aren't there.
Huh?
If she wanted, she could simply hide her injuries from view. After all, someone like her has exactly what it takes.
'Cause she's the makeup artist.
I got it. Talent. As the ultimate cosmetologist, Diana could easily cover her wounds.
It makes sense. With the right equipment, she could probably disguise even a bandaged wound.
As Diana's bunking partner, I've seen firsthand how many different cosmetics are inside her room. So unfortunately, I have to agree.
Well, Diana, did I get anything wrong?
No. No. But I...
Wait. Diana, did you just say no? As in, no, you're not wrong that I covered up my wounds? Oh crap. You guys know what this means, right guys? Diana just...
Contradicted herself.
Diana basically just confessed!
A confession? Are you for real?
It makes sense though, doesn't it? Diana got wounded, which proves she got in a fight with Wolfgang, which means all that stuff about Wolfgang going to the boiler room, all that stuff really did happen.
I see. I see now what you're saying. Diana, she lured Wolfgang to the boiler room by writing him that note. And when he arrived, she attacked him and killed him. And now, she's been lying this entire trial, hoping we would never suspect her. How cruel!
Diana, It wasn't me! I promise, it wasn't me!
To think she could preach about friendship after committing a violent crime.
And then try and sentence the rest of us to punishment.
Golly, you're right. If we voted for the wrong person, we would have been executed.
Ah! That's so fucked! Seriously, Diana? What the hell is your damage?
Can we at least hear Diana's side of the story?
Her side?
Well, you know, Diana has, I just think it's fair we listen.
What does it matter what she says? Look at the evidence. This case, it's closed.
Well, now that they're saying the case is
We know who
closed,
the
I
killer
don't
is.
feel like the case is
Really
closed.
want to ask for Diana's side of the story? Then do it after the vote.
No! No, no! No.
What?
Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang to the boiler room. Once he got there, she killed him immediately.
Then she fled the crime scene, hoping the rest of us would never learn the truth.
Wolfie was only trying to keep us together.
Then you obviously did.
Better to believe so. You're innocent. I see you where you.
If this goes on any longer, I'm gonna be sick.
What a Diana was the one who lured Wolfgang. Once he got there, she killed him.
That was it? How?
Hold on. Grace, you're overlooking a crucial detail. Do you recall the note I found in Wolfgang's blazer pocket? It asked him to meet in the boiler room at 8:15 a.m. But, according to the Tozu tablet, he died over an hour later at 9:30. That means Wolfgang didn't die right after he got to the boiler room.
What's your point?
My point is that the killer had no reason to lure Wolfgang to the boiler room and then wait over an hour to kill him. There's no guarantee another person won't enter the room during that time. It's in the killer's best interest to be in and out of there as fast as possible. When we originally discussed the note, we lacked the context to properly understand this time discrepancy. But if we go with your idea that Diana killed Wolfgang immediately, then that discrepancy becomes all too clear.
How do you know Wolfgang didn't just arrive late?
He was already on his way when I ran into him at 8:10 a.m. He must have arrived on time.
Same goes for the killer. I doubt Wolfgang would stay in the boiler room for long if no one came to meet him. For that reason, we can assume Wolfgang was knocked unconscious soon after he arrived. But there's such a long period of time between him being knocked out and him being killed. Unless you want to tell me he and Diana were in an hour-long struggle, then I'm sure there's more to the mystery here.
Shut the fuck up!
She really just tried to argue me right now?
What the fuck is wrong with you? All of Diana's blubbering and crying is just a farce to make us think she's innocent.
I wouldn't fall for a farce like that. My only concern is the evidence not adding up.
If you're still not convinced Diana is the killer, then let me show you something you overlooked. I call it undeniable fucking proof!
Where's the proof, lowbrow? Where's the proof, lowbrow? Doorknob.
I don't give a damn what Diana says!
It's probably
Not only is she the one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How can the killer be anyone but her? I don't give a damn what Diana says. Not only is she the one person without an alibi, the blood from her wounds places her inside the exact same room where Wolfgang died. How can the killer be anyone but her?
If Diana lured Wolfgang downstairs, why would she take over an hour to kill him? It doesn't make sense. Not when there's a risk of someone else entering the boiler room.
What risk? Diana wouldn't have to worry about anyone walking in because she could just lock the fucking door.
I'll cut through those words.
No she couldn't, no she couldn't, no she couldn't, no she couldn't.
The boiler room door can't be relied upon here. If Diana locked it, she would be trapping herself inside the boiler room.
What?
The doorknob has been flipped so that the keyhole faces inside. Well, had you investigated the crime scene more closely, you might have realized this detail sooner. In any case, locking the door would lock everyone inside the room, not outside. If Diana was the killer, she'd be better off leaving the door open.
How the heck do you even flip a doorknob? Sounds like something only a tradesperson could do.
Meh. You really think so? Swapping a doorknob is easy. Well, last time I did anything like it was a while ago, but everyone here knows knobs are screwable, right? If you get a screwdriver and know what you're doing, you can rotate the doorknob quick smart.
If you can swap a doorknob, then I guess anyone can.
Bursky.
Wait, are you saying that like it's a bad thing, or...?
Is that why Diana remained in the boiler room after Wolfgang died?
What do you make of the footsteps then? If they were Diana's, it would imply she escaped the boiler room. How do you suppose she did that?
Did Wolfgang kill himself? What's the question? Hold up, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? I wasn't like paying the closest fucking attention. Oh, show the question. How did Diana escape the boiler room? Oh, fucking lockpick. Oh.
This is it.
Near the boiler room door, I discovered a thin piece of metal. At first glance, it didn't look important, but if you were to fold it in half, theoretically, it would look like a hairpin.
Ah, she used the classic maneuver. Picking a lock with a hairpin. It can be done. It just takes a bit of practice.
Diana probably had this hairpin inside her makeup bag. So, she used it to fiddle with the lock until it, which, judging by the timing of her footsteps, happened late into the blackout.
Messing with a lock in pitch blackness. Whew. Now that would be impossible for me.
Right. Even if Diana did access light, like through the Tozu trinket, undoing the lock would still be difficult. Way too difficult of a situation to deliberately put herself in. Someone blocked.
Oh, nothing in.
Not all of them.
Then Diana would.
True.
Am I?
Oh, locked it.
I got it.
Someone else must have locked the door.
What?
If we go with our current train of thought, the doorknob was rearranged so you could only lock it from the outside. It doesn't make sense for Diana to rearrange the lock, enter the room, and deliberately trap herself inside, which means someone else must have locked the door.
Why are you over here,
This doesn't
Grace?
necessarily clear Diana's suspicion, but it's strange enough to warrant further investigation.
Aye. I'd rather resolve this thread before we move on to voting.
Agreed. We could easily miss something important if we turn our noses away.
So, why did this mystery person close the door in the first place?
What if they saw the scuffle between Wolfie and Diana and closed the door to protect themselves?
Instead of seeking help? Or trying to stop the scuffle?
You say that like closing the door isn't exactly what you would do.
What kind of asshole do you take me for?
Any chance they locked
No,
it
Kai's kinda cool, bro. No, hop off Kai.
And somehow unscrewed the doorknob.
Hop off my roomie.
To themselves?
Didn't you hear him? He's talking about the door being locked, not the door not being unscrewed.
Unless two entirely different people just so happen to interfere with the boiler room at two entirely separate intervals. The one who locked the door is most likely the one who flipped it, yes?
Yes.
Then you should be wondering the same thing. How did they unscrew the doorknob without catching anyone's attention?
Yeah, doesn't sound possible.
Not in the moment, it isn't. But what if the doorknob had been swapped beforehand? Say this person knew Wolfgang and Diana were coming to the boiler room. They could have, and then closed and locked the door.
So the flipping of the doorknob was premeditated?
With what we currently know, I'd wager it's our safest assumption. At least, until we hear Diana's side of the story.
Diana, since you were the last person with Wolfgang, Your testimony could be our most valuable piece of evidence yet. You need to tell me what happened. If not for me, or for you, then at the very least, do it for Wolfgang's sake.
I'm sorry. I'm really
Shit.
I wanted to help. I wanted to make everything okay. But all I could do was be useless. All I could do was watch him die. It's all my fault. All my fault. For doing the wrong thing.
So is this a confession, or?
No!
Huh?
I didn't kill Wolfgang. And I don't know who did, but I still failed him as a friend. I failed him then. And I failed him here. But if I told the truth, things would be worse than they already are. But now that I've said nothing...
It's okay, sweetheart. Come on now, take deep breaths.
Yeah, we'll believe you no matter what you say.
Has all this murder hubbub left your head in a tizzy? Perhaps you need a short break. Something to lighten the mood. Something like... Welcome, one and all, to the first episode. If you haven't already, please now, what a shame.
Put me back in the trial. I love you, Tozu, but I'm trying to do this trial, bro. Love you, Tozu. I'm trying to do this.
Defend yourself. Tell me what happened.
Where do I even start, though?
How about you begin by explaining why you went to the boiler room?
Why I went there? It was... 'cause of a note.
A note?
2 days ago. Someone slid one into my room. I never got to see who. I just heard a knock. And when I walked over, there was a note under my door.
I don't remember any of this.
Sorry. It was midday-ish, and you weren't there at the time. And I didn't show you the note later because, well, I'll just read you what it said.
As you aware, it is our obligation to speak to those who've blackmailed obtained. Receiving our blackmail and reading the information enclosed in it. 2 days' time, please come to the underground boiler room at 8. Make sure to arrive promptly and close the door behind you. To avoid discourage, do not show anyone this letter. Do not approach me about it either. In private, there's always a chance of... Okay. Wolfie wrote this?
Wolfgang had Diana's blackmail? But didn't he have Jean's?
Hold on a sec. If you take a closer look, the handwriting on that note... Doesn't it resemble the handwriting on Wolfgang's note?
You're actually right. Even though Wolfgang's note has been water damaged, the words I can make out were in the same messy scroll as Diana's here.
Then someone else was posing as Wolfgang?
The killer, most likely. They must have thought his word was the only one Diana would follow.
Guess it worked, huh?
I didn't want to show this note earlier. Because I was scared of how people would try to twist it. Like saying I faked the note, or that I decided to kill because of it. I thought it would be better to just stay quiet. I know you guys think I'm stupid for agreeing to meet in a place like the boiler room. And I am stupid.
And who killed? I have no idea who killed now.
Didn't want to disappoint Wolfgang.
Fence or girl, fence or girl, fence or girl, fence or girl. Everybody has alibis though.
8:40 a.m. and went downstairs.
Did you catch any strange movement down there?
No. It was just me. I did find the boiler room door hanging open a little bit. But I didn't think much of it. I just went inside and closed the door behind me. Since that's what the note asked me to do.
What did you see inside the boiler room?
The boiler room was really dark. So the first thing I noticed was actually the security camera light. My eyes had to take a few seconds to adjust to everything else. But after that, I finally saw him.
Wolfgang!
Wolfgang was lying in the water, making these weird noises. It didn't seem like he'd even noticed me entering the room. Not until... Wolfgang? Hearing his name seemed to snap him out of his trance, because he slowly rose to his feet. Wolfgang, are you okay?
It's you.
Huh?
I can't believe it. I really am finally meeting you.
What?
What do you mean?
Please.
Jesus Christ.
Forgive me. Please forgive me for what I've become.
Wolfgang?
Despite how hard I tried, how much I wanted it to be true, I could never become you.
What?
Always be a failure.
Is he talking about his dad? What the fuck is going on?
It's okay, Wolfgang. Look! There's stairs over here. Come over here and we can get out. I have no idea if he didn't hear me, or if he was just ignoring me. But, okay. I'll get closer to you then. I went over to the ledge of the platform, the part where the fence had a gap. Just take my hand, okay? And I'll pull you out. He slowly stumbled over, and he held my hand. I didn't really think I could pull him out. I just wanted to be there for him. It was the best I could do, because I didn't want to enter the water. Staying on the platform felt so much safer. And I really, really hate that it did. It's okay.
What the fuck is going on with you, Wolfgang?
We'll get through this together.
Wolfgo, bro, what the flip?
I was looking at him when I said that.
Bro took the Percocet.
I was looking right at him. But somehow... Somehow I didn't think to react.
What the fuck?
When he reached inside his blazer.
Yo, Wolfgang, bro. Wolfgang, bro, what are you doing, bro? Yo. Yo, Wolfie. Wolfgang. 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 Yo. Yo. Yo, Wolfgang, bro. You're tweaking. You're tweaking. You're tweaking. You're tweaking.
I tried to leave the room, but the door was locked. I didn't know what to do. I started looking around for things to defend myself with. And that's when I saw the gun.
The taser gun? Did you use it?
I took the taser, and I aimed it at Wolfgang, and I...
Wolfgang was tweaking off the perk, bro. Holy shit.
I just backed away from him. I couldn't understand anything. Why was this happening to me? Why was I being attacked? Why Can't I do anything to...
Wolfgang, Wolfgang, what are you doing, bro? You're tweaking. Wolfgang, you're tweaking.
I'm not like you. I'll never be like you.
What the fuck?
I won't give up until the world knows.
What are you saying?
I won't give up until everyone knows me as...
All of a sudden, everything turned white. Everything in front of me. Except Wolfgang. In those few seconds, he became pitch black. And then, so did everything else. Even though I didn't see Wolfgang fall over, I heard it. His body cracking against the pavement.
So he killed himself.
And his knife falling into the water. I waited for the gasp of
Wait,
pain.
no.
For him to groan or mumble or say something. But there was nothing. There was just me and the silence. That's
What the actual fuck, dude?
What the?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That man.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my goodness, Diana, I'm at a loss for words.
Like, bro is geeked. Bro is geeked out of his mind.
Holy shit. So Diana really did watch Wolfgang die.
Why was he so violent towards her? It's like he became an entirely different person.
The word you're looking for is crazy.
Can I actually save right here? Cause I'm actually like, I don't want to lose my spot now. Alright, now we can go back. I could never become you. Why would Wolfgang say those words in the particular
How'd
moment?
you manage to escape the boiler room after all that?
by picking the door's lock.
For reals?
I wasn't even thinking. I just started feeling my way back to the door in the dark. And then, well, my supply bag. I remembered the spare hairpins I always kept inside. So I felt around the bag and dug one out. To be honest, I have no idea how I managed to unlock the door. The whole thing was repeated trial and error. Just minutes of me telling myself that somehow this next attempt will finally work.
Whoa! Actually unlocking the doors, that's like hitting a bullseye blindfolded.
Now we know why it took so long for her to escape.
I realized why it happened. Getting trapped inside, I mean. The door's lock was on the outside. So, someone must have set the lock before I came downstairs. So that when I closed the door, I'd be trapped.
Did they rig the...
normally on the inside too.
Did they rig the generator to explode? Because if not, then that's just... Yeah, then we want to have a trial if the generator just exploded on its own.
Right. The killer made Diana trap herself inside the boiler room, so they could kill Wolfgang in front of her, and force her to remain by his body. Had their plan worked, Diana would only be able to escape if someone from outside entered the boiler room, by which point, that someone would be stumbling across what looks like a cut-and-dry murder case.
If the tournament folk found Diana, they would have been playing right into the killer's hands.
Speaking of which, Diana, I'm curious to know, did you unlock the door before or after the tournament attendees arrived downstairs?
It sort of happened at the same time. Like, when I opened the door, there were already people walking down the stairs. Obviously, I couldn't stay inside the boiler room. If anyone saw me close to Wolfgang's body, it would look really bad. The hallway was a bit easier to make out in the dark. So I walked over to a wall bordering one of the storage closets and hid behind it. And stayed as quiet as possible. I was still bleeding a little from Wolfgang's cut, though. And some of that blood ended up dripping onto the floor around me.
Fucking Lee, bro.
It's the blood on the underground floor! It's all coming together!
This was shortly before us tournament goers split up. And you made a run for it, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Down the hallway, up the stairs, and then as quietly as possible into my room. Since
Dude.
Was still really dark,
Dude, Wolfgang was off the perk, bro. Holy shit. He was off the Percocet, bro. Holy fuck.
So, if you guys could just give me a second. I cleared up the blood pretty fast. Luckily for me, the cut wasn't that deep. There's still a chance it may leave a scar, though.
Character development, she uses the scar and makes it all the way to the end. We can see the scar on her design.
It's okay. I'll cover it.
Oh no, they don't even. Yeah, they don't even. No.
Why did Wolfgang attack you for no reason?
I wouldn't say it was for no reason.
I think he was off the Percocet.
Kind of insensitive, man.
Huh? I didn't mean it like that. What I'm trying to say is, Wolfgang's actions may look random from an outsider's perspective, but from his perspective, well, judging by his behavior, it seems like he saw something which shook him to his core.
Like, there was something in the room that Diana didn't see?
That's impossible! It was only me and Wolfgang in the boiler room!
I don't believe John meant it in a literal sense.
Wolfgang literally saw something?
He thought he saw something, is my point.
You mean he had been hallucinating?
What did Wolfgang hallucinate for him to turn out the way Diana described?
You'd be surprised by the sort of things our minds can invent. I'm lucky to have never experienced anything myself, but I know some who have hallucinated nasty things.
Demons and monsters, or the feeling of being tortured.
If Wolfgang went through something similar, I can see why he lashed out.
Now what the heck is going on at sea?
Of course, these hallucinations don't just happen out of the blue. More often than not, they're substance-induced.
Oh, someone gave him the drugs! Someone gave him the drugs! Ooh, damn.
One which induced a lot of fatigue, too, judging by the way he lumbered about in Diana's account.
It would explain why Wolfgang mostly stayed in one place.
One place, which happened to be in the water.
Seems very deliberate. Aye. I reckon the killer knocked Wolfgang unconscious in order to drag him into the water, but knew he would eventually wake up again. So they drugged him with something which would basically make him despondent. As for where the drug came from...
Oh no! Don't tell me the killer robbed...
I knew exploring it was a bad idea.
It? What's this it we're talking about?
The pharmacy, dumbass.
Pharmacy, obviously.
Thank you, Kai. See, now you're being... Exactly.
Why the heck did we think leaving that place open was a good idea? Now someone's stolen an item and drugged Wolfgang.
And killed him.
Fuck! I knew our promise was too good to be true! I can't trust any of you guys!
What?
And don't say Wolfgang drugged himself! Who wants to be tortured by demons?
Well, stranger people do exist.
That's rich coming from you!
If we know where the perpetrator got their chemicals, I guess our next step is figuring out how they did the drugging.
Agreed.
Fuck, we're back at square fucking one.
And potentially even
We've been doing this trial for almost 3 fucking
like you guys
hours.
can leave this one to me. I'm the kind of person who knows someone back to front the moment I meet them. If you haven't already realized, I've gone and read this killer like an open book.
You're the last person I trust to reach a correct conclusion.
Just you wait! The second you hear what I gotta say, you'll be eating those words!
Taking down Wolfgang drug may violate Diana's testimony. Question: how did the killer drug him? Fuck.
I bet the killer took a pill. Forced Wolfgang to swallow it.
Make him swallow a pill. Proof they restrained him.
Killer knocked Wolfie out. Maybe that was their way of restraining him.
Unconscious. To swallow a pill.
A drug. You don't need to eat.
This is true.
An inhalable substance?
Yep.
Oh yeah, like...
The pharmacy does have a large...
Fuck.
Too many...
Fuck, now I gotta go with this entire statement. Everyone's statements.
Killer took a pill.
Not.
You can't force
an unconscious person to swallow a pill. What if it was
a drug? You don't need to eat.
Like an inhalable...
If...
I bet...
Force an unconscious person to swallow a pill. What if it was a drug? You don't need to eat. Like an inhalable substance?
Oh yeah, like a powder or something.
The pharmacy does have a...
That... Nope.
How is that not it?
Killer took a pill.
Just jab him at that point.
That's...
I bet the killer took a...
Now hold on. Diana came to the a pill ain't...
I bet the killer took a pill. Forced Wolfgang to swallow it.
Just jab him at that point.
Huh?
Okay, I think it's the... I think I have the right bullet. Oh, did I already do that? Fuck.
I bet the killer took...
Now hold on. A pill...
This would constitute a game over.
I bet the killer took a pill.
Oh my god, I thought...
Force an unconscious person to swallow a pill. What if it was a drug? You don't need to eat. Like
an
inhalable substance?
Oh yeah, like a...
If Wolf...
I bet the killer took a pill. Forced Wolfgang to swallow it.
Just jab him.
There we go. Oh! That was a fucking lockpick. Oh my god. I said in the lockpick with the...
discussed earlier. It was mentioned he had a tiny red dot below the bruise on his neck. During the investigation, I thought this dot was a scab from a mole or pimple. But knowing Wolfgang was drugged, it's clear to see what it really is. A puncture wound.
Considering the timeline of events, injection would check out. If Wolfgang got drugged a little after 8:15 a.m. and was already feeling the effects when Diana arrived at 8:45 a.m., then we're dealing with something which entered his bloodstream in under 30 minutes. Any normal pill would have taken, probably an hour to dissolve.
Whilst an injection would be much quicker. I see.
That's probably another reason why the killer knocked Wolfgang unconscious. It would have been incredibly difficult to inject him if he was still moving around. Only when they had him right where they wanted, dazed and unable to fight back, did they plunge the syringe into his neck.
With said syringe being filled with a hallucinogenic.
But if this all happened a few minutes after 8:15 a.m., doesn't that make it impossible to pin a suspect?
What? Why is it impossible?
Because everybody's got an alibi for that time. I mean, Damien and I were in my dorm room, and the other party people...
8:15 a.m. Yeah, I was already in the dining hall with Jet, Mark, and Eva.
I left Wolfgang's dorm right after the morning announcement and spent the rest of the hour with Jean.
When Nona and I were in our dorm room together.
And me and Eloise were already sitting down in the courtyard.
Toshiko was giving me the medication she grabbed from the pharmacy.
And, I stayed in my
Toshiko could have done it.
8:40 a.m.
Toshiko could have done it. She was already in the pharmacy at the time.
Oh no. If everyone can be accounted for, we really can't assume a...
So, we're back to square one.
No, 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 no.
If everyone has an alibi for 8:15 a.m., is it possible the killer never actually attacked Wolfie at that time? But his little note said to come by at 8:15 a.m., didn't it?
Ingrid, do you remember what you said when we couldn't figure out who stole Desmond's taser?
To be honest, I'm drawing a blank.
You suggested we switch subjects and discuss Wolfgang's injuries instead, which we did. As a result, we ended up unraveling more about the case than if we had stuck to the original topic. Right now, we're at a dead end. If we can't get any more leads out of this current discussion, then that's a sign to switch.
My game's glitching. I'm gonna have to save real quick before anything.
Switch our focus to what?
I want to take another look at Diana's testimony.
Mine?
Back when you were describing Wolfgang's death, something stuck out to me.
It's a hard picture, but he still died. Which sucks.
The flash of white Diana described must have been the generator exploding, with the darkness afterwards being the blackout. Think about the order of events there. In just a few seconds, the boiler room's generator explodes, and Wolfgang falls over dead. Doesn't it sound like the two are correlated?
Oi, didn't we go over this already?
We did. The generator has nothing to do with Wolfgang's death. Its wires weren't touching the water.
Indeed. Which is why the murder weapon is the taser gun.
Diana said she never used the taser, though.
She's lying!
What? That's not true! I never fired the gun!
It's all good. I believe you. Sure, nobody can dispute the gun was fired. What can be disputed, though, is when it got fired. I wouldn't be surprised if the killer fired that gun way in advance. Like, sometime before Wolfgang arrived downstairs and left it in the boiler room for us to find later.
What? So the taser gun isn't the murder weapon?
If Wolfgang wasn't killed with the taser gun or the generator, what other options are we left with?
The taser gun is the only option which makes sense. And anyway...
Ava! What do you mean?
All the evidence supporting your version of events is circumstantial. The note you showed us? That could be a fake alibi you made for yourself. The fact that it
Couldn't that just mean the same person tricked them?
If you earnestly believe Diana didn't write it, but do you see what I'm saying? There's no proof Diana never wrote the notes. Because if she did write them, everything about her entering the boiler room at 8:45 a.m. and being locked inside could be a total lie.
I get what you're saying. But if we run with the idea that Diana was the one waiting for Wolfgang all the way back at 8:15, then we're stuck with the issue we had last time. Why did Diana wait over an hour to kill him?
That's also circumstantial. None of us know what really went on between those two in an hour. Ruling someone out because they took a long time to murder is stupid.
Without context? Sure, I'd say the same. But since the boiler room is unlocked, anyone can enter. If Diana knocked Wolfgang out, then she took over an hour to kill him with that info in mind.
Okay, but who would enter? No one wants to make a detour down some gross, freaky-looking basement. The boiler room is probably the most covert place a person can be. Diana claims she didn't write the notes, and she claims she didn't shoot the gun, but where's the hard proof she didn't do any of these things?
The answer lies in what destroyed the generator.
What?
Didn't we already talk about that?
All you guys did was discuss theories, never anything concrete. Settling for a theory isn't good enough when our lives are on the line. In the same way Ava can't rule out Diana's involvement in the case, we can't rule out the generators.
So, we have to figure out what destroyed the generator? What should we do? Just throw out ideas?
It's what we've been doing this whole time.
Oakley dokley. Alright, everyone! Let's put our thinking hats on! If we work together, we'll unravel this mystery for sure! Ready? On your marks, get set, go!
Oh, what are we doing? Shut.
Why did the generator blow up?
Could have just been an electrical fault.
So, a coincidence?
Is this the best situation? To be waving stuff off as a coincidence?
Did the killer throw something at the generator? Maybe it explode? Perhaps it's the fault of a taser gun? The electrical discharge it released might have connected with the generator. Energy, which caused everything in the circuit to pop. Probably. There's no proof anything besides.
Ooh, sick on my balls. Oh, lucky you.
Unfortunately, Ava, I have to disagree. You say nothing but the taser could have been involved in the murder. But there's one possibility you didn't consider. The shrapnel in the water.
You mean those bits of red metal which were floating around?
Right. The ones that look like the aftermath of an explosion. Due to their proximity to the generator, it's safe to assume the two are connected.
Can't that just be debris left by the generator?
Except this debris is a completely different color and lacks the rust the generator has accumulated. We're obviously looking at the remnants of something else, which means an object we haven't yet identified was caught in the explosion.
Extension cord? Oh, they could have plugged it in, yeah.
The water was also an extension cord, half of which had been burnt away.
Huh? Did the cord get caught in the explosion?
Seems that cord has the misfortune of floating around the wrong place at the wrong time.
From what I saw in my investigation, the building's extension cord supply seems to be kept inside storage closet D. So in a way, yeah, it was definitely in the wrong place.
Storage closet D, huh? It was hard to make out much of it in the dark. And after the power came on, Kai came screaming for us to leave our closets. But I do recall seeing some extension cords peeking out from behind a shelf.
Since we already know the killer raided one storage closet, anyone else willing to bet they raided this one too?
The hell did they need an extension cord for?
Probably something involving the generator, given its proximity to the cord.
Same thing with the red bits, even though we don't know what they are.
What? What is the mysterious shrapnel related to? Generator. Fuck. The fuck? What do you mean what the shrapnel's related to? That's wrong too. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is it related to? The odd smell?
This is it.
There we go. Fucking. Ugh.
Hold that thought. We may be able to identify the shrapnel using context clues.
Let's use our
During the
purple words.
investigation, there was a strange smell permeating the boiler room. Well, the best way to describe the scent would be if you mix cereal and alcohol together.
Cereal and alcohol? Talk about specific.
Mm-hmm. 'Tis a sign a chemical reaction was at play.
Wait, you recognize the smell?
Chemical reactions can produce some pretty pungent odors. Usually something to the tune of alcohol mixed with cereal, or fruits, or eggs. I noticed the smell going into the investigation, but it had completely slipped my mind until now.
Could it be a chemical reaction was caused by the taser?
The gun never touched the water. There's no reason for it to be the source of the smell.
What about the generator?
Considering the state of it, that generator would smell more burnt than anything else.
If the chemical reaction can't be explained,
The only one who doesn't have an alibi for the time that we originally said, that we're saying now, is Toshiko. Because Ingrid can only assume that she went to the pharmacy. One Piece?
The shrapnel.
Can someone translate this into less complicated talk?
It was just a long-winded way of saying he's using process of elimination.
I know it sounds like a stretch, but if you follow this line of reasoning, a lot more questions start getting answered. Think about it. If the smell and shrapnel are linked, then whatever object the shrapnel belongs to must contain chemicals.
So we're looking for a metal object, which is also packed with chemicals?
Surely something like that would be kept inside the pharmacy.
Looking at my notes, when we originally visited the pharmacy, I recorded everything I saw. A bright red metal object would have definitely caught my eye, but I don't see one written here.
Gachapon?
I got lots of metallic objects in the dorm room, but nothing chemical. Just big old slabs of metal.
Said just now, it's similar to what she said then. So to explain where to is loaded with all sorts of fancy tools and metals. At the time people were talking about their dorms being themed around their talents. The shrapnel was actually the remnants device that the guy boasted about having in his room. That's for sure. You on the spot. Who boasted about having something in their room? What? Mark? Mark didn't boast about it. Jet! 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 He was saying the lights! He was saying the lights!
Jet, I need to ask you something.
What's up?
Jet! Jet!
Tell me what's inside your dorm room?
Like, a full-on list?
Whatever works.
Jet!
Sure thing. I got a pretty gnarly collection of parts and accessories. Blind spot mirrors, lithium batteries, wheels, spare brakes, you name it. Oh, I even have the legendary mantle from the 1984's Grand Prix winning speedster.
That's what I was hoping to hear.
Cool. So, why'd you want to know? Unless... Wait, I'm not being suspected, am I? No. Don't try and rope me into this, bro. I've got nothing to do with the murder.
I know you don't.
Oh.
You have an alibi. The only reason I ask It's because that mysterious red shrapnel may be the remnants of one of your lithium batteries.
What? I see. A lithium battery might explain the smell in the air.
And lithium? That's an explosive substance. If it made contact with water, gosh, you'd be left with a mess and a half.
Wouldn't someone have heard an explosion, though?
I did.
Really?
During the tournament, right before we lost power.
Oi, that's right. That was a berm. Wait!
There was a berm!
I remember hearing it too!
I initially assumed the generator made the noise somehow. But if Jet's car batteries contain an explosive substance...
Hey, Jet, were your batteries bright red at all?
Maybe?
You don't know for sure?
I never took the batteries out of their packaging. The packaging isn't red, I can tell you that, but the actual batteries? Yeah, I got nothing.
So it can't be proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
Pretty much.
Well, what's the reaction time of a lithium battery? When a lithium battery hits the water, how long does it take to combust? I think, once we know that, we can decide whether or not the battery is relevant to the case.
A lithium battery would be an almost instantaneous reaction, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Lithium isn't a metal I've worked with, but it got beat into my head never to mix it with substances it doesn't like. All that electricity, the battery would have let out when it hit the water. It must have went straight into poor Wolfie.
There's warning labels on the battery for a reason.
Okay. If the reaction is instantaneous, then the battery would have entered the water only seconds before the generator exploded. That's really weird.
Is it?
According to Diana's testimony, when the explosion happened, she was still holding the taser gun. In which case, who threw the battery into the water?
Huh. Good point. We can rule out Wolfgang, since the Blackens can only be a student who kills another student.
It was only Diana and Wolfgang in the boiler room. So unless Diana herself was the one to throw the battery, then the battery can't play a part in the murder.
I didn't throw the battery. I promise.
Fuck! Oh my god. I didn't know this fucking game would take 50 years.
The battery is related to the case. Only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But battery would hurt you.
The battery clearly couldn't have fallen somewhere. So it must... Perhaps something akin to what Eva described? If that battery is the murder weapon, why is there a taser? Maybe it's still a
Judging by the strap, the battery would have landed in the water. A few inches from...
Yeah, I didn't think that would work. I just need to go back.
If the battery is related to the case, I've thrown it in the water.
Neo batteries are pretty lightweight though.
The extension cord, it has to be something.
Why is there a taser gun?
Maybe it's...
Judging by the shrapnel, the battery would have landed in the water a few inches. The evidence...
If the battery is related to the case, only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But my arm...
Wait, though.
Judging by the shrapnel, the battery would have landed in the water. A few inches from the generator.
Not the hardest shot to make.
If the battery is related to the case, Only Diana.
But my
Oh my.
Akin to what Eva described?
It's either Toshiko's thing or it's Eva's thing.
If the battery is related, only Diana could have.
But my arm.
Damon. If the battery is related to the case, only Diana could have thrown it in the water.
But my arm had been.
Damon. If the battery is related to the case, only Diana could have thrown it in the water. Damon.
Oh my god, this. I got places to be.
If the battery is related to the case, only Diana. Damon. If the battery is related to the case, only Diana.
But my arm.
Fucking.
He couldn't have fallen from.
Oh. Jeez Louise. It saved me.
No. The battery might actually have fallen from the generator.
What makes you say that?
The shrapnel's position in front of the generator suggests there's a correlation between the two. However, it's unlikely Diana threw the battery at the generator. Not only is the boiler room difficult to see in, just that Diana, with her wounded arm, will need to stand on the platform's edge to make the shot, which would obviously put her in danger of being attacked by Wolfgang again.
Yeah. Wolfgang was really close. He could reach over to me if he wanted.
If the battery hadn't been thrown, the only other possibility is that it fell down into the water. And considering the layout of the boiler room, what else could the battery fall off of? Except the generator.
Are you saying the battery was sitting on top of the generator?
I got it.
Extension cords.
The battery may have been suspended over the generator.
God, fucking Lee, bro. This trial's been going on for almost almost 4 fucking hours. Using the extension cord. Yes.
This is it.
The killer could have tied the extension cord around the battery and slung the battery over the generator. If the cord and battery were tied together at the time of the generator's explosion, it would explain why half of the cord had been burned away.
The more you explain it, the more unbelievable it sounds.
What if that's the point? Maybe the killer chose a crazy method because no one would believe it.
I don't see how weaving a cord into the mix is any more beneficial than leaving it out. If anything, the cord adds extra weight.
Which would be especially inconvenient for Diana, because her arm is bleeding.
Right. It wouldn't benefit Diana to hold the cord. So, what if she didn't? Something else may have been supporting the cord instead.
What? Third person or...
I got it.
Throughout this trial, we've assumed the killer held the battery in some form or another. If the battery was on its own, the killer tossed it in. If the battery was wrapped with a cord, the killer held the other end of the cord. But in the same way something else can hold the battery, can't something else also hold the cord?
Ugh, my head's starting to spin.
Are you talking about something which could keep the cord in place?
Yes?
This is it.
The vent? Oh, he tied it.
The killer tied the cord to the vent.
What vent?
The one above the generator. It connects the boiler room and the dining hall.
There's a vent above the generator?
You should remember some light shining into the boiler room. That's where the vent is. The vent itself is set a bit far back into the wall. So, you probably assumed the spot was a small window or something.
If the boiler room and the dining hall are separated by one vent, does this make the wallpaper thin, or...?
There's two vents. The boiler room vent and the dining hall vent. Both are connected via a small ventilation shaft. I was able to get a close look at the boiler room vent after Ava and I woke up, which is why I know these details.
How close is close for someone under 6 foot?
Ava helped me reach the vent,
By?
letting me sit on her shoulders.
Quite the visual.
Something like that would result in an explosion.
What do you mean?
You say the killer tied one end of the cord to the vent and the other end to the battery. However, indoor extension cords are much longer than regular cords. They can be upwards of 9 or more meters in length, as opposed to the average cord's 2 meters. 9 meters is significantly longer than the distance between the vent and the boiler room floor. If the killer wanted to tie the battery to the cord's other end, they would be tying it to something which is already submerged in water.
I see. It is an impossible setup.
By putting it on the other vent. So somebody... I mean, cutting the cord. Oh my god, I'm stupid.
Cut the cord using what? And
could have been the...
Well, not... I didn't...
You...
Fuck.
I got it.
The extension cord is pretty thin and flimsy. If the killer wanted the battery to be secure, they need to wrap a lot of cord around it. Probably to the point there wouldn't be much spare cord remaining. Which is a good thing, because this spare cord is what the battery will be suspended by, so long as the...
So much effort.
What did the killer use to adjust the cord's position? Vent? Where did he click the vent?
This is it.
Oh.
Like I mentioned earlier, I gave the vent a close look after part of my inspection included opening the vent to get a better look at the other side.
The vent can be opened?
Not all the way, but far enough for the vent to cause a domino effect if then closed. In our case, a domino effect involving the extension cord. If we assume the vent must be open for the battery to remain a safe distance above the water, we end up with a pulley system to prevent the battery from entering the water. The vent is literally pulling the entire cord backwards. Ergo, it's not just the killer's own measurements keeping the battery in place, but the vent itself. Having opened one of these vents before, I can tell you how tough they are to move. A lightweight winch is great for the killer, because it means they get to maintain full control over when the battery enters the water. If they close the vent, the cord should slide forward and submerge the battery into the water. When that happens, the boiler room water becomes electrified by the battery's components, which in turn causes electricity to pass directly into the body of Wolfgang. who was standing in the water.
Exactly.
The boiler room vent.
Earlier, you said there's a small vent shaft connecting the boiler room vent to the assuming the killer is operating this trap from outside the boiler room, how would they even be able to reach the boiler room vent? Like you said, there's a separate vent in front of it.
To see the boiler then obviously to the shaft.
This could only mean one. The killer never tied the cord to the boiler room vent. They tied the cord to the dining hall vent.
That just creates the same problem as before. Instead of the dining hall vent making it hard to close the boiler room vent, it's the boiler room vent making it hard.
While the vents may seem like an obstruction, especially since they can't be opened all the way, all the killer needs to do is fit the extension cord between the grates of the boiler room vent.
Oh yeah, the grates. You mentioned something about them earlier. Right. When you described opening the boiler room vent. If you can fit your fingers between the grates, there's no damn way you can't fit a cord.
Exactly. After which, you could slide the cord through the ventilation shaft and out the opposite end for the killer to then go and tie to the...
Actually...
Actually?
What is it?
It's
the logistics?
Hey, Lissy, shut the fuck up, I got shit to do.
I understand the boiler room vent can be opened. Maybe not all the way, but enough to fit an extension cord through.
Oh my god.
What's bothering me, however, is that the boiler room vent was closed during the investigation, which means it must have been closed during the murder. I understand the boiler room vent can be opened, maybe not all the way, but enough to fit an extension cord through. What's bothering me, however, is that the boiler room vent was closed during the investigation. I understand the boiler room vent can be opened, maybe not all the way, but enough to fit an extension cord through. What's bothering me, however, is that the boiler room vent was closed during the investigation, which means it must have been closed during the murder.
I'm swiping his things.
I understand the boiler room vent can be opened, maybe not all the way, but enough to fit an extension cord through. What's bothering me, however, is that the boiler room vent was closed during the investigation, which means it must have been closed during the murder.
I don't see a problem here. The killer doesn't even need to open that vent, because it could simply slide the cord between the grates.
Indoor extension cords may be thin, but the plugs on either side of them aren't. How can the killer fit both those plugs between the gaps in the vent grate? Either the boiler room vent was never involved, or it was open at some point, and someone else closed it. That is my issue. Indoor extension cords may be thin, but the plugs on either side of them aren't. How can the killer fit both those plugs between the gaps in the vent grate? Either the boiler room vent was never involved, or it was open at some point, and someone else closed it. That is my issue.
Trust, I know exactly when to hit it.
Indoor extension cords may be thin, but the plugs on either side of them aren't.
I'll cut through those words!
Get your ass out of here.
If you insert the cord through the boiler room vent first, you just need to start with the internal plug. The cords in storage closet D have a slim internal end. This can easily be slid through the gap. Once the killer ties the cord around the dining hall vent, presumably with a knot. The core won't be at risk.
I see.
I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna.
Whether or not the boiler room vent was closed.
Oh, can I not?
At the same...
Since the battery was suspended over the generator, it's no surprise the machine ended up the way.
Can I? I'm just gonna save it, and we're gonna come back to this in a different episode. Cause I need to do shit, and this is taking for fucking ever. So with that,